Had a good physical, full padded practice today. Got a little bit of it was muggy and hot today. We needed that, um, but I thought our kids did a really good job with practice. We, did situations, a lot of situations, 3rd and 1, some goal line situations, 2-point situations today, and starting to get the team ready for the scrimmage on Saturday. Tomorrow will be a Spiders practice, but it'll have some length to it. It'll be about an hour and 50 minutes, where next Friday probably won't be quite that long, but we're still in camp mode and we're still in install. So we are going to have a pretty lengthy practice tomorrow and then a full-fledged scrimmage on Saturday.
Way to go, Sam Pittman, hitting the hook there. Good work. All right, welcome into the zone. It's a fantastic Friday. I hope everybody's ready to rock and roll for the weekend. I'll tell you what, it's a weird week. It's like the week went super fast, but there was a lot of things that happened, it seemed like, and I cannot believe it's already Friday. So here we go. It's going to be a working weekend, though, for some of us. Anyway, glad to be with you. We got more from – I got a lot of football stuff to catch up on. We're going to get ready, man. Season's upon us, bud.
2 weeks?
22 days.
22 days, 3 weeks.
Yep. Not enough. Anyway, I was telling HB, though, I'm a little bit ahead of schedule. Normally where I'm at 10 days from the start of the season, I'm already there. So,
oh, nice.
But I got a lot of crap to do. Anyway, at least I have my list put together of the things I need to knock out. So that's progress. Anyway, happy to have you with us. We've got more from Sam Pittman. We've got some players, Tesla and others who spoke yesterday.
I've realized it's like coleslaw, but it's Tesla.
Okay.
Like the car.
No.
Well, no, it's not. That's the whole thing.
The car's Tesla.
Yeah.
It's Tesla.
Tesla. Slaw. I like it. That's a coleslaw.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
He talked about that yesterday.
Did he?
Yeah, he's got a little Italian in him. But he said, but that's not Italian, though, is it right?
No, it doesn't sound Italian to me.
Yeah, Tesla's Italian.
No, I know Nikola Tesla is, but Tesla, I don't know if that's...
Look, buddy, if it ends in a vowel, you're Italian. If it ends in 2 vowels, you're super Italian.
But he went on to say that he said, we've got Italian, and it's supposedly Italian, but my family comes from somewhere else. Do we have that clip?
No, I didn't pull that one.
Oh.
So how did he end up at Hillsdale? Do you know anything about Hillsdale?
No.
It's
Obviously
in
not.
Michigan, that's it.
Yeah, it's one of the most conservative colleges in the United States. It is the darling of the right wing, like the George Wills and the William F. Buckleys and people like that.
Wow.
It's a small, kind of a boutique school, and their football program is really, really, really tiny.
I think he was late to mature.
Okay.
And he has matured. And I didn't realize how strong he was. That was one of the things that came out yesterday, that in the weight room, the dude is like powerful.
They like benching a lot or something?
We found out
we do have that clip.
Okay.
Well, I'm interested.
Well, then Tesla, workout warrior.
Is this Walcott talking about him, or is he talking about himself?
The question is asked, and Walcott takes the question.
Coach Souter said the other day that he called you a freak show in the weight room. Just what are some of the areas as far as, in the weight room body transformation that you feel like you've made the biggest strides since you got here?
Yeah, you're right. A freak show. Like, I'm watching it, bro. I'm like, what the heck? As a receiver, you know what I'm saying? I'm a pretty strong guy as well, but watch it, I'm like, the clean, bench, squat. That's going to be a problem.
Yeah, the weight room, you're good. The weight room is something I've always gone to, and I feel like that's somewhere where you don't need talent to go and put the work in the weight room. So that's somewhere I feel like where if I can get bigger, stronger, more physical in the weight room, that's something I'm going to do, and that's something that I've always done. So when I got here, I just wanted to come in every day and make sure I was out working everything.
I really appreciate pulling this sound, but dear God, what are we doing? What year is this?
I don't understand why the audio quality up there is so bad on most occasions.
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
It's so low.
I mean, my God.
And I have to boost it, and then it sounds terrible.
Yeah, I mean, Marconi would be very disappointed in us right now.
By the way, I just looked up the YouTube video that I pulled this from.
Yeah.
And he says Tesla is French, which I'm almost certain it's not.
No.
That just doesn't
Where'd you
sound
get the
French.
Italian thing?
I don't know. French, Italian.
He said his family's Dutch.
Dutch.
That makes sense. Yeah. Well, maybe they just made up the name. Sometimes people do that.
Okay.
So I just put all you
You got me
Europeans
excited.
together,
Yeah.
French, Italian.
That is so racist.
Yeah.
Did they
Yes.
say like how many times he bench pressed 225 or something like that? I'm kind of curious.
Didn't get numbers, but
No.
at our
Yeah.
countdown to kickoff,
Mm-hmm.
when we asked about
Yeah.
freaks, he was one of the names they mentioned. Called him a white boy can run, but they were also talking about how he could jump.
Nice.
Yeah.
That sounds racist, but it's interesting.
Well, if you watch the Dutch national team, they're really good. The Netherlands always has a good soccer team. There's some freaky athletes over there for sure.
Well,
Don't
and the
sleep on
world's
windmills.
strongest man, it's always like Johan Johansson. You know, these Dutch people are really strong.
Mhm.
So maybe
Genetics.
Yes.
yeah, from building windmills and dikes and stuff. So I'm just saying.
What?
Holding back the water.
Yeah,
Not
damn.
that. Get your mind out of the gutter. What's wrong with you guys?
Anyway,
Children.
we've got Isaiah Joe coming in studio today. Isaiah Joe, currently of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Quite the coincidence that our boy Christian Weaver just happened to wear one of his Thunder shirts today.
I just walked in my closet and I was sitting there. I was like, oh,
And the hat.
first
too?
shirt I saw,
You
first
gonna-
hat I saw.
You gonna get an
Socks?
autograph today?
No.
I see a photo op.
I'm not an autograph guy. Are you guys
I'm
autograph
not-
guys?
No, I'm not.
If-
It would take like somebody really, really, really important.
All right, who is it?
Michael Jordan. I mean, that'd be a cool one, wouldn't it?
Yeah, no, Jordan would be great.
I've
Pig-
gotten one in my life.
Pigskin would get his autograph
One.
and they'd tear it up in his face.
I would eat it and then hurl it. I got Brad Van Pelt's when I was in 5th grade.
Dear Lord. My grandparents got me Reggie Jackson's on a ball somewhere. I don't know where it is. They're like, when you get older, we're going to give it to you. Great.
Mm.
Maybe it's not in a ball. They might have got it on a napkin.
It
They were going to
wasn't-
do them in a bar, I think.
It wasn't like Ray Barone when Frank just wrote Mickey Mantle on a ball, was
Right.
it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm not an autograph guy. I do not like autographs. I don't want autographs. I don't like asking for them. So, like when Peyton Manning got announced, I had a couple people text me and they're like, "Hey, can you get an autograph from him?" I'm like,
No.
I don't think so.
No.
I'm like, why don't you, come to the event? I'm sure he'd be happy to sign something for you.
That'd be Bush League, you walking up and asking for an autograph.
I've done it before, but man, it's just not my jam, and I hate doing it.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm happy to have their time, and I don't want to bother for an autograph too.
There was-
I don't even like asking them for a picture.
There was a funny thing in the Wilt Chamberlain documentary about signing, and he and Bill Russell were friends but rivals there. And Russell famously didn't sign for anybody. So Chamberlain takes care of the granddaughter of Paul Arizin, one of his old teammates that had a brain tumor, and she shows up at this thing with the Hall of Famers and wants to get everybody's autograph. And she's going over to Russell, and they said Russell doesn't sign for anybody. Chamberlain took her book over there, went to Russell, and said, "Sign this." I said, "Sure." And he signed it. So yeah, so there you go.
I will give you one occasion.
All right.
Books. I like it when the author
Oh,
autographs it and
absolutely.
inscribes a little,
100%.
writes a little something. I think that's cool.
I'll give you that. Now, listen, if I had a basketball handy and Michael Jordan was around, hell yeah, I might ask him to sign it for sure.
Mhm.
And I mean, I have gotten autographs, and like, I will tell you what I'd love to have. Like, I got Dick Vitale. We got a photo when he came in and spoke at the
Mhm.
Arkansas Democrat Gazette, the prep
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
a couple years ago. I'd love to have him sign the picture that we're
Pictures are great,
in
man.
together.
Absolutely.
So anyway, I digress. So we're gonna talk to Isaiah about all sorts of things. Christian, what do you want to ask him about?
I don't know. We did just talk to him like 2 weeks ago, so I'll have to think of some other questions.
While it was out?
Yes.
You weren't here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Hey, was that on camera?
on
Sorry
camera.
about that. I don't care.
Ask him if Sam Presti is cheap.
We're playing tax actually.
Are you?
Yeah, because we absorbed players' contracts and blah blah blah.
You guys
blah,
still paying Westbrook?
blah. No, no,
Okay,
we're not.
that's good.
You have to spend a certain amount in the NBA,
That was a
or else
bad contract.
you
yeah.
give that money back to the NBA or something.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's an interesting deal. I don't know how any of that works. Luckily, I'm not a GM, at least for basketball. Neil Erzman's going to join us at the bottom of this hour. Coach is going to come in and talk about the Pac-12 and the impact there. Should be in a good mood. He just got back from vacation, I think. But I asked him, I said, is this going to affect you or what? And he's like, yeah, quite a bit. I'm like, okay, I need to hear about this. That wasn't the first thing I thought about when they started talking about Pac-12
No.
realignment. Then I was like, wait a minute. Little Rock wrestles in the Pac-12, or they used to. I don't know what's going to happen with Stanford and Cal and Oregon State and Washington State, but it's safe to say they're not going to have enough to have a legitimate wrestling league, I wouldn't think.
Big
With four of
12
them.
has good wrestling.
Sure does.
Big 10.
I don't know
Uh,
if they would absorb a team like Little Rock, but maybe they'd be interested. I don't know. I mean, it would make sense to
Sure.
wrestle in a league that's more regional.
Yeah.
I don't know who else has one, though.
The wrestling leagues are different, though, aren't they, than the normal leagues?
How do you mean, bud?
Well, like Little Rock's in the Pac-12. They're
Right.
not normally in the Pac-12. Is it the same teams in the Big 12 make up the Big 12 wrestling group?
Not all of them have wrestling
because some
though.
of them are leaving, like Texas,
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
Big 12, yeah, but I mean that's a wrestling league. Like the Pac-12 is a little bit unique, yeah, because not
Mhm.
every school has it. That's why they've got other schools that have jumped in there.
Does
Right.
Texas and Oklahoma have wrestling?
Oklahoma
don't
does.
know
Oklahoma
about
does.
Texas.
I don't think Texas does.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But I don't.
But
know for
then
sure.
they're bringing in like the
Mm.
Cincinnati, some of the other Pac-12 schools. I just want, this
So
is
that's a
gonna
good
be jumbled
question. With
mess.
Oklahoma's wrestling team, when they join the SEC, what are they going to do?
That's a great
Because
question.
the SEC doesn't wrestle.
They sure don't.
So
Is there
Except-
any
except in
team in the
football.
SEC that has wrestling?
no.
That's a good question. Maybe we'll ask Coach about that. He may have some
Mhm.
insight on that too.
Sure.
Yeah, Oklahoma State. I mean, they got really good Oklahoma State, especially obviously. but
Oklahoma State's a top 4 wrestling program historically with
Sure.
Iowa State,
Penn State's been really good at times.
Penn State, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I don't know. We'll talk to him about all that. Tom Murphy's gonna have to he's gonna have to adjust his timing today because they're getting players at 11 today. So we'll get him on as soon as we can, probably around 11:45, and then Philip Martin coming in today. Mizzou has wrestling. I stand corrected. Thank you, Coach.
Used to be in the Big 12.
There you go.
Yeah.
So who do they wrestle against now? We'll get all the info when he gets here. Coach, don't text and drive. Just get in here, will you? Philip Martin joining us on the 12 o'clock hour today as well. We will talk about this new movie. It's got Ben Kingsley in it, and it's a weird premise. It's a guy who basically lives alone in Pennsylvania, and an alien's ship crashes into his azaleas, and then he welcomes the alien in. The alien does not speak at all.
That sounds interesting.
It sounds very strange,
Yeah.
but apparently it's pretty good. He
Sounds
pulls
like
it off.
E.T.
It does a little bit. At least
Reese's Pieces.
ET learned how to talk though. This one doesn't apparently. Didn't have a single speaking line.
Elliot.
Yeah. ET phone home. Yeah. Reese's Pieces are pretty far, by the way.
They are good.
Okay, so question of the day today. What do we decide?
Wes came up with it's National Kool-Aid Day. So, what is the best possible outcome for Arkansas football? Now, I do need the
Grape.
options.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right, I mean, it's got to be 14-0.
12,
No, 15-0.
National championship.
13,
National
14, 15, and 0. Yes.
11-1, 10-2, 9-3.
Didn't you guys say as a collective group at the football thing for Gary Hill, you guys were going to go
11-1.
11-1?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
I'm not sure
Individual
anybody
predictions.
actually believes that.
Well, 11
No.
and 1 would put them in the playoffs. So then they would
Yep.
not be an 11 and 1. They'd be 11 and 2.
Maybe we cap it at regular season.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
What is the best possible outcome for Arkansas football regular in the
12
regular season?
12, 11, 10, 9.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Pixie and I made this lengthy argument the other day about why I had a better chance of being governor than Arkansas doesn't win a national title this year. And so I felt kind of stupid making the argument, but then the more we talked about it, the more sense it made. I don't think Arkansas has a legitimate chance to win. Although I would say it would be really neat, and there is a snowball's chance in Hades at least, that they could win the West this year. It would be neat for them in the last year of divisions to win their division. Now, I don't
Mhm.
expect them to beat Georgia in the finals, but you never know.
I agree with most of that statement. They could win the West if everything fell right. I mean, it'd be unlikely. They got zero shot at Georgia. None.
What's the answer for what's Alabama's schedule look like? They're gonna have to get some help. LSU is gonna have to help them out too, obviously.
Or
They
beat
got
'em
Texas
both.
this year, don't they? Again?
Yeah, they got Texas.
I'm talking
at
about
home.
conference games only. Doesn't
okay.
matter. I'm talking about conference this year. Alabama has Ole Miss at home, at Mississippi State, at A&M, Arkansas, Tennessee back to back at home.
Tennessee could knock them off.
100%. Then they get a bye week.
Is Tennessee at home?
No,
Tennessee's
at
at Alabama.
Ah,
they can't beat them at Tuscaloosa.
How about this? They get Arkansas, Tennessee, bye week, LSU, all at home. Alabama does.
that's a nice month.
Yeah, it's
Good
tough.
job, Nick.
It's a tough month, but still. And they start out with at A&M. LSU is actually the first game in November, but nevertheless. At Kentucky, at Auburn. So a pretty good schedule for Alabama all in all. I mean, you got a tough schedule, but at least you get the big games at home.
Mhm.
LSU has got at Mississippi State, Arkansas at home, at Ole Miss, at Missouri, Auburn home, at Alabama, Florida at home, A&M at home at the end. So
That's a good
not
schedule.
awful.
It's
Yeah.
just they have to go to Alabama.
Okay. I take it back. Arkansas can't win the West. I don't think they're going to get enough help.
I
out
think
of
you
that.
got to get 2 road wins over the 2 best teams.
Well, we know LSU or Alabama's going to have a loss
Yes.
outside of the Arkansas game. So
Yeah.
that's
I still don't understand the route to power from Sarah Sanders to Justin. I must have missed the connection there.
obviously she's going to have to hang it up.
Well, Justin said to justify it, if
Yes.
Bill Vickery can get R.J. Hawk elected, surely he could get him elected.
And RJ took offense at that. And I didn't mean it as a shot. RJ obviously did, 99% of that on his own. And he also got himself elected to the Bryant City Council without any help from Bill Vickery, so he's doing just
Well,
fine on his own.
RJ's a hustler. He is. He gets out there and pounds the pavement and presses the flesh and kisses babies, and
No
that's
doubt.
half of politics. That name recognition's half of politics.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So
We did our part here.
I
We
think the
propped him up.
station, yes, absolutely, the station did its part. No
I would.
doubt.
Yeah, I think RJ's got a better shot at being governor than I do for sure. I'll give him that. But he also has a better chance of being president than Arkansas winning a national title this year. So there's that, I think. But hey, maybe I'm wrong.
President
I hope I am.
Hawk. It's got a ring to it, doesn't it?
So there's a lot of talk about tight ends, defensive backs yesterday. Not so much about the linemen. We still got tackle questions, but Tom will have answers on all that. And he was also singing the praise of the backup quarterbacks yesterday, including the local guy,
Nice.
our man from Morrilton.
I think it's always a battle. I do. I think it's always a battle. But Jacoby Criswell is one heck of a quarterback. And so is Fortin. I mean, Criswell has an elite special arm, and he can fly. And they've both done a nice job. Criswell is really playing well as well.
They've got to quit doing these interviews in submersibles. Didn't they hear about how the last one went? I mean, it's not a good move, guys. Stay above water if you're going to do these interviews. Here's Coach Pittman on the tight ends, and that is an area that we have not seen a lot of production. And there are a couple of guys that can certainly help in that regard. What, you think Easter's going to contribute this year, or he's in a redshirt?
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't heard a whole lot about him, but Coach, well, we'll play the clip, but I think they have some older guys that they can rely on.
Yeah, I tell you, maybe one. Yes, we have. Maybe one we don't talk about as much is Francis Sherman. I mean, he has done. Man, we're awful honored he chose us. He's done a really nice job out there. Comes another one, and of course, we have Tyrus Washington, who's done a nice job and back. So we're sitting there. Shamar Easter's done a really nice job. It's just, he's not quite there yet, but he got here later and didn't have the spring ball. So obviously it's hard for freshmen to catch up that fast. But we've got 5 tight ends that we do like. Luke seems to make plays every day. Tyrus Washington's made some really nice catches as well.
Who's he talking about? Travis. I thought he said Travis Swanson.
It's Tyler, I thought.
Tyler.
I don't know who that is.
I have to look
Francis
at-
Sherman's the tight end from Louisville that has like 30 receiving yards for his career.
And then you had the kid from, was it North Texas that came in? Who's the
Yeah,
kid?
Marquise Gums. Yeah.
Gums. We were talking about him this week.
I would imagine Gums and Haas are probably the top 2.
He said they have 5,
They have 9 technically, but
They're not going to play 5 though.
but he said we have 5. I think he means we have 5 we feel good about.
how many
Okay.
double type formations are we going to have?
They've said they're going to be playing 2 tight ends at a time.
Enos will
times.
use them and won't be
Yeah.
doing triple reverses down on the
No.
7-yard line. So
That's
Or
5
sneaks.
guys that can sneak, exactly.
yeah.
So to answer your question about Easter, I think this could be a redshirt
For
year.
him. Yeah.
And
It's no knock on him. He's got a
Not
lot
at
of
all.
dudes. That's good. Well, I want somebody catching the ball from the tight end position. We're going to take a break here. Coach Ersman's here, and we will visit with him about wrestling and the state of the Pac-12 at this point. There is not much of a state of the Pac-12 at this point. This is Blues Traveler here in the background. They are playing at Oakland November 17th, and I'm sick that I can't go unless something really weird happens.
Didn't somebody say John Popper lost a bunch of weight?
He's skinny now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like 10, 15 years ago he did.
I don't pay much attention.
Well, that's
to it.
okay. They're really good. I saw him in
Yeah.
concert at the Amp earlier this year.
Man can blow the harp.
Bro,
He really can.
I love it.
Legendary.
Yeah. Justin Moore's not a fan.
He's
I don't
a hater.
understand it. I don't understand why he doesn't like them. I think they're great. I think he's just mad because he can't play the.
He doesn't like Garth Brooks
harmonica.
either. Justin
Well,
Moore.
That's,
Yeah.
that's a little easier.
Oh,
I don't know. I just don't know what you could possibly not like about Blues Traveler. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'd like to go. Nitty Gritty Dirt Band's coming up September 10th. I think we all like them. Marcus King, Buddy Guy, also coming up at Oaklawn in the event center. But there is entertainment every weekend. All you have to do is head down to Oaklawn. There are a million different things to do. You got the pool, obviously, you can hang out at for the next few weeks. It's still going to be warm for some time now. And in the wintertime, they heat it. So you can actually go there year round. 24/7, 365 in the casino as well. It's smoke-free. Live entertainment, as I mentioned, in Pop's Lounge. But all your favorite games happening there. And, of course, the sports book is going to be jumping real soon because of all the futures wagers, and we'll be getting into games here in the next couple of weeks. 22 days away from the start of the season for Arkansas, and obviously there are 0-week games prior to that. Mainline Sports Bar, great place to watch games, over 90 large-screen TVs. You can wager in the all-new sportsbook area as well. So lots of fun things to do down at Oaklawn and Hot Springs. We got to get to the break, but JW, I'm going to squeeze you in. What's up?
I'll talk real fast, okay? Like the micro achievement guy, I'll try to get it all out one time. Okay, check it out. How about, I got a question and comment. First one is Matt Landers. How about, that's the first Arkansas Razorback I've seen do anything in the game. 1 catch, 30 yards, and a touchdown. That's a pretty nice debut. Did y'all see that?
No,
I
I
did.
did see it. Yes.
who's he playing?
Pretty sweet.
Seahawks.
And
Their
you know,
quarterbacks
with
played
all
well.
the transfer portal and everybody bailing when they don't get to play and they want to, they're not happy. My question is, man, we got a hell of a team. We got a stacked roster on receivers. I mean, the backs are getting stacked up. We got like 5 deep. How do you keep all these guys and give them the ball and keep them from not bailing and transferring and all that? How what do you do there?
That's a great question.
I mean, how do you keep building a team like the Alabamas and Georgias and getting these guys, and without them, I want to play right now, because that's the mentality of sports.
Mm-hmm.
Pay me or I'm gone.
Sam Pittman's going to be here in 11
we call
days. We'll ask him.
Well, you've done it with AJ Green.
Well, yeah, Jimmy Smith gets a lot of credit as the running backs coach for keeping all those running backs, and he said it's all about relationships.
Yep. It's 10:29. We're going to talk to Coach Erzman after the break. Stay with us. You are in the zone on just a fantastic Friday. Let's get ready for the weekend, shall we?
Looking for a car this weekend? Let me tell you about Gwatney Chevrolet and the website, GwatneyChevrolet.com. You can go to the website today, take a look at all the inventory. You can see all the deals, the incentives. And they got a lot of good incentives right now because they're trying to get rid of 2023s. They have the 2024s coming in right now, so they're going to make a deal for you. Head out to the website, find the vehicle you want, then go to the Gregory Street exit in Jacksonville. Remember, they're still paying top dollar for quality cars, trucks, SUVs right now that have been pre-owned. You'll be able to pay off your note, have a little extra cash, put it down on a new vehicle, and drive away with a new 2023 Gwatney Chevrolet. Gregory Street exit in Jacksonville.
The head coach of the Little Rock Wrestling program, Neil Ersman, is here with us in studio. Coach, it's great to see you. How are you?
Good. It's great to be back.
So, yeah, it just like, I'm kind of dumb or slow at least. And I was sitting in my office a few days ago and I was like, ding, gee, this is going to impact the Little Rock Wrestling program because the Pac-12 is falling apart before our very eyes. So I texted Coach and I said, is this going to impact you? He's like, yeah, a little bit. So I wanted to bring you in and get thoughts on what happened and how you guys found out about it, or if you knew before it was all going down, or what happened with that whole process for y'all.
Well, I went on vacation and then all of a sudden my phone started blowing up. I was like, dang it. But so for a long time now, we were supposed to, so just to kind of explain Little Rock's position, we're very much an affiliate and we have no say in what goes on, and we have no, we have no take in the matter.
Mhm.
We simply respond to what's given to us, and we're grateful to be a part of the Pac-12. But basically for the last 2 years, I mean, since OU and Texas left the Big 12, it kind of created this idea of that the media rights are coming up. We can switch conferences. It just kind of opened the door for a lot of people.
Mhm.
And we have been in talks with the Pac-12 of, hey, what's going on? We do our it's supposed to be 4 times a year meetings that we have, and it's just disappeared since this all ramped up. But every conversation was, we're going to have a media rights deal by November. It's supposed to be November of 22. And then it was like, probably by January.
Did you guys have a TV contract for wrestling?
No. So we do streaming rights. So we had the Pac-12 has a channel that we can stream on.
Dig it.
But basically they just kind of kept pushing and kicking the can down the road. So we all knew something was coming. And I think the reality is the Pac-12 came to the table a little too late for the media rights deal, which kind of was the catalyst for a lot of this. And there's a lot of implications that we could talk about for a long time. There's a lot of programs that are going to be affected negatively. Well, not a lot. The 4 left.
Right. So, I mean, schedule-wise, did you already have your schedule set before this all got announced?
Yeah, so we're still going to compete in the Pac-12 for 1 more year.
Right.
None of this really kicks in until next year.
That's right. Okay.
So we're good for this year. It's the future. We have to kind of be reactionary. We can hedge our bets a little bit and start kind of flirting with other conferences, I guess you could say.
Right.
But
awkward.
It is a little awkward, but there's a harsh reality coming. And
so you got to Cardi B it. You got to make some money moves.
I mean, I don't know much about Cardi B, but yeah, we'll make some money moves.
So who are going to be viable options, and how does this work? Because wrestling's a little different. We're talking about it. So as a satellite program, is that what you call it?
Yeah, you call it affiliate.
An affiliate, okay.
Yeah.
So there is your core conference schools, and then you've got these other schools like y'all with the Pac-12, and that's not the only league that does that, right?
No, every league but the Big Ten and the ACC allow affiliates in their conference for Olympic sports.
Okay.
The ACC does not, which I think we could talk about the ACC a little bit too, and what's coming down. I don't know if they're going to be in the same position that they are come 2026, 2027, when most of these schools can get out of their contracts, right? So they might change. The Big 12 allows affiliates, I think if in a perfect world, I think we would all hope that we would just get absorbed into the Big 12. The entire Pac-12, and then they split it and make a 9-9 East and West conference, and we would get more regionally aligned for travel and just logical reasons to wrestle people around you. I think that would be in a perfect world.
Yeah.
But if the Pac-12 kind of becomes the Mountain West, then now we have 7 teams, and you only need 6 to have a conference.
Okay.
So we really kind of got to sit back and wait and maybe see what some options would be, put some things on the table of where we could go, and then we can make a good decision.
It came up in conversation. This doesn't impact you directly, but Oklahoma leaving the Big 12 and moving to the SEC, no wrestling league. Sounds like Missouri's already aligned with the Big 12. You told us. What about Oklahoma? What do you expect, or have they said what they're going to do?
So that's kind of like the big question mark, because and not to correct
The pigskin
over here, but you know, he made a comment about, you know, Oklahoma State being top 4. We're the number 1 program. And I'm not just being biased.
I was being generous. I was including others.
You know, the most national champions, the most Olympians. But anyways, I digress there.
But he's not wrong. You are top 4. You're just top 1.
Yeah, we're just top 1. But
we'll take the Smith family out, and you guys are 2. So there you go.
I'm just gonna let that be.
That's good. If you need a hip toss, feel free. We've been wanting to do it for years.
But the Big 12. So with OU, that's kind of the big question mark. They kicked Missouri out. They wouldn't let them come back when Mizzou left to go to the SEC. So no, they were no longer allowed to compete.
Got their feelings hurt, didn't they?
They were very, very upset when Mizzou left.
That they were.
And you know, the reality is that, you know, Oklahoma State's a big piece of that in the wrestling world, and so they're not happy with what OU did. There's lots of agreements in place where they're not supposed to do what they did. So I would see them. I think for the health of wrestling, everyone would vote for them to stay, but it wouldn't surprise me if they kicked them out.
Do you think any Iowa State wrestlers bet on themselves? Don't answer that.
I don't think I need to answer that. I think you can just Google that.
No doubt. What a mess. Oh my God.
You said you were hopeful, you know, that maybe it could work out with the Big 12, or how hopeful? I mean, is this realistic? What do you think the odds are?
I think it's I think it's hard right now. There's so many teams in the Big 12, and again, it just really depends on what happens if the pack, what's left of the pack, goes to the Mountain West.
Is that an automatic for you guys that just follow along with that, or
well, we automatically have a home at that point. And so that's, you know, you want to have a home. You don't want to be independent in wrestling.
Can you flirt with others and still stay? I mean, this is a really weird, like I said, a weird situation. Can you say, okay, we're coming along, but also be like, hey, Big 12, if you want us, we're available.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. This is, you know, this is not a.
Will they get mad though? Would out west? Would they get mad?
I mean, they probably wouldn't like it, but there's a reality that we have to take care of ourselves, and we have to do what's best for us.
Right. What about, like you mentioned the MAC? What about the non-Power 5 traditional conferences? Are those options for you guys?
Yeah. So there's, you know, the MAC would be a potential option.
Does Missouri Valley wrestle?
No, they do, but it's all Division II.
Okay.
So you have the SoCon would be an option. You have the Eastern Independent Wrestling Association, which is the EIWA, but that's all the Northeast. It's so far away that it's economically not possible. And then, yeah, I think that's about all the extra conferences you have.
So of the Pac-12 teams that are left, the 4 that remain for the time being, obviously Stanford and Cal have been flirting all over the place. Those 4 schools wrestle, or some of them, or
Stanford's the only one.
Okay.
You know, the problem is like they're flirting with the ACC. Well, and this is opinion. All right, this is just what I hear in the coaching world, is that the ACC kind of they voted not to have. They were going to merge with the Pac-12. And they voted against it. The presidents did. And at that point, it doesn't seem that they're very interested in bringing more people in. Now, when you look at contracts and you really want to dig down, and we spend, you know, an hour and a half talking about college sports, the ACC is in a very much similar situation that the Pac-12 was a year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And they are, because in 26 or 27, they can essentially move, pay the penalty, still make money, and increase their budget, you know, $30 million every year.
Yeah.
So I think the ACC is going to have to make some moves.
They blew it. I mean, you could have called yourselves the Coastal Conference and had the West Coast and the East Coast both covered.
There you go. Right. And the reality is there's schools that are in the Pac-12 that are really going to be damaged from this, the 4, because no one's really talking about when you lose $30 million a year, when you lose $40 million a year, that changes everything from top to bottom. Everyone just kind of seems to think football, basketball. Well, that is the number one thing it's going to impact. You're going to go to the Mountain West. You're going to be down $30 million, and you're going to have the expectation to compete at the same level, and it's just not going to be the same.
Right.
And then all your other sports are going to be affected from it. And so I think that's one thing not enough people are talking about, is like Cal. and Cal's in one of the worst financial positions out of any of the institutions in the Pac-12. Like they are negative a lot,
Mhm.
and they don't have an option. Like they're in trouble, and and a lot of this is just, you can blame COVID, you can blame this and that, not putting butts in the seats, not being good. But I'm not sure they they want to go for the money, but I'm not sure they want to go any other for any other reason.
They're an elite academic institution and they're a lousy sports institution. They're not good in anything. And they used to be good at everything.
Yeah.
As of right now, who's in your conference in 2 years?
Nobody. I mean, the in 2 years the conference is right now it's Stanford, Cal Poly Technical, which is in San Luis Obispo, Cal State Bakersfield, us, and then Oregon State.
Wow.
And if Stanford leaves, then who knows?
Yeah, the days of Marshawn Lynch and Aaron Rodgers are long since past, right?
Mhm.
Remember Marshawn was just out there? I love that
Yeah.
clip.
Protect that football, right, Marshawn? That's the key.
That's not the one. That's not the one. I want to get the one where he's doing the interview with the reporter.
And he
He
throws in
drops a couple
yeah.
choice words. There's so much Marshawn Lynch in here. Here it is.
I'm from the Bay Area, but when I look around the stands and I see that these these stands how they were when we were here, that kind of got me on tip.
Yeah, does. All of us. Yeah. Bet they're not getting a lot of people there wrestling. Wouldn't get a lot of people wrestling, but they don't wrestle, so it's no big deal, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, Berkeley's that's a different animal, man. That's a very strange place.
How do you recruit right now? What are you telling kids?
I mean, we've been recruiting at such a unique atmosphere that this doesn't really change us. We've made it through COVID. We've made it through being a non-traditional school. We've made it through just years of getting our heads kicked in, and we're recruiting at a high level. And we recruit to a value, a faith-based value system that's very strong. That really leads them to say, okay, look, if this is important to you, we are a no-brainer. And you're always going to lose the battle to the kids who want to go to the Big Ten. You're always going to lose the battle to the kids who want the flashing lights and the big. But if you got kids that are willing to bet on themselves and to be very unique, and because we're like no other program in the country, starting from scratch. And if you want to be a part of the foundation and you want to be that athlete that cuts their own path to the top of the mountain and then watches everybody else follow your path, and you're willing to double down and bet on yourself, then Little Rock is the perfect storm for you, because we're new. We don't have an identity. We're creating that identity, and we've recruited at an extremely high level, and it's really put us on the map fast. And so we've separated ourselves pretty quick from a large portion of the pack, and we're nipping at the heels of the bigger pack. So I just don't see it changing a whole lot for us, because we've created a lot of value.
Regardless of what league you're in?
Regardless of what league I'm in.
And you'll be in a league next year regardless, you're telling me?
Yeah, we will be in the Pac-12 next year regardless.
Oh, I'm sorry. After the year after that, are you 100% confident you guys will be in a league of some sort?
Yeah, we will get picked up. I mean, we will apply everywhere we have to go. There's conferences I know we could get in right now that are not ideal, but if that's what we got to do, we got to do.
Sure.
Right. And if we got to go win 10 conference titles individually to go to nationals, and that's what we got to do.
Right.
But we now have the horses in place to run like that. So
what are you guys doing right now before we let you go? What's going on right now as you guys get ready to go back to school?
Well, they have been at home since July 21st, and they come back next Friday.
Yeah.
So they're just at home training.
Your guys have probably
relaxing.
put on a lot of weight. They're up to like 3% body fat now.
Yeah. if they come back overweight, it won't take long to get back down. I promise you that.
Yeah. Most of those guys, I'm guessing, are pretty disciplined when they go home, because they probably don't want to go through hell when they get back.
Not in the beginning of our program, honestly, but we have wrestling's become so professional, and we talked about, hydration last time. Like that's a tiny piece of being a professional, and our guys have bought in, so they'll come back in pretty good shape.
Yeah. Well, listen, good luck to you guys. We'll be at some matches. Pigskin, have you been to a wrestling match yet?
Of course.
Okay. I didn't know. At Little Rock?
I watched them wrestle Arizona State.
Okay.
They
Good.
did well for the first couple matches, and those dudes had a bunch of national champions come out. They were rugged.
We were winning going into,
You were.
I guess, halftime, you would say.
Yes.
We were beating them. So
Good atmosphere, man.
Oh, it's
People are
awesome.
into it, man.
They have beer.
Listen,
Hello.
there's nothing in the world like Bedlam. You get Oklahoma State and Oklahoma wrestling. That's more intense than basketball. I'm just saying.
You obviously have not been to an Iowa State dual pal.
Well, I'm saying.
No, I'm kidding.
Yes.
No, I'm sure that's
Well,
almost
the
impossible
reason
to-
they call it Bedlam is because of wrestling.
Is that right?
So it was so packed that it was way over capacity, and people were literally sitting around the mat, and it got so loud because the Oklahoma State heavyweight pinned the OU heavyweight to win the duel that the lights started busting and falling down on people, and
That is
it was a
insane.
big
That is
deal. So
awesome.
that's where Bedlam comes from.
There's nothing more intense than a wrestling.
It's so
match.
much fun.
It's just crazy.
Well,
It is.
we're big fans. I can't encourage people enough to go support Little Rock. It is my favorite thing to go watch because I don't have to do any work during that season. So I'm doing basketball games, but when I get a break, I love to go watch the wrestling. What's the facility you guys wrestle at Oklahoma State? Do you guys have a dedicated facility, or you wrestle at the arena?
Gallagher
So
Iba.
yeah, Gallagher Iba Arena.
Do you
which
really?
is,
Okay.
to
That
my
would be a
knowledge,
great place for wrestling.
yeah. I mean, it's
Historic venue. Yeah.
it's the only venue that's named after a wrestling coach, which is Gallagher.
I didn't think
And
that. Okay.
Iba's a basketball coach,
Right.
but
I never even knew that. Honestly, I never even asked that
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. The
Makes perfect
basketball
sense.
coach at Oklahoma State's an afterthought.
I've
The
called
wrestling guy's the main.
I've
dude.
called a couple of games in there, and it never even occurred to me to look into that. That's my bad. That's pretty amazing. I'd love to see a wrestling match in there sometime. Coach, I appreciate the time. Good luck with everything, and I'm sure you guys will figure it out.
yeah. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Always good to have you. 10:49. We'll come back and wrap up our first hour. Isaiah Joe coming in next hour. Got Tom Murphy a little bit later as well, and Philip Martin will be in as we go through our normal Friday routine. Stay with us. You are in the zone. It is 10:53 in the zone. The Pigskin's here. Appreciate Coach Erzman coming up. That was insightful, I thought.
Yeah.
Very much so about the inner workings of how you deal with leagues. And again, when we haven't seen too many leagues fold in our lifetime. So here we are. And I guess I'd not really heard the story about the ACC or forgotten about the ACC and the Pac-12 potential merger. I think they
Stanford
missed
is
an
the most
opportunity.
successful athletic program in the history of intercollegiate athletics, and they're going to be on the outside looking in.
I think somebody will pick them up just because of the academic and the athletic side of it. They've got everything, really. I mean, they've got great history.
Mountain West.
Who
Yeah.
votes on this? Presidents.
Right.
Presidents are into
They like nerds.
academics.
That's right.
I think there's a place for Stanford.
You know what they really like? They like bow hunting. And if they do like bow hunting, they need to go down to Max Prairie Wings, Wes. That was a perfect segue, I thought, too. Listen, they got the best model bows down there. You know that. They got the best model everything. You need anything to get outdoors, Max is the spot. Elite, Matthews, Hoyt, Bear, whatever brand you like, it's all in one place. And they also have, of course, all the high-quality accessories you need to make your bow even more powerful. It'd be fun to go bow hunting. Something we'd kind of get into, I would think. They have custom-made arrows as well, tailored specifically to match your unique hunting style. For me, Pigskin, that means I need some arrows that help me not miss. So they need to go in a different direction than
They
what I'm
have
aiming
those
at.
GPS arrows. Yes.
I need that. I need the ones that Rambo used to use, I think, actually, if I'm going to hit anything, that explode when they hit something. The experienced Bowtech Slayer will personally work with you to build your dream bow exactly the way you want it. Imagine every shot you take hitting its mark. That sounds cool. I like that. Don't waste your time with anything less than the best for any outdoor item. Max Prairie Wings, online at maxpw.com. Come by and see our friends at Stuttgart. It's an adult playground. Heck, it's a kid's playground for those who like to get out and enjoy the outdoors here in Arkansas. So take advantage, my friends. Much more coming up from Sam Pittman in the Red White Report and Mr. Tesla, as well as Walcott. Now, Walcott, I was looking him up this morning. They call him, he's got like a nickname, first name, right? Because he has a super long, weird
Jersey Joe Walcott.
They just call him Al, I believe.
Yeah, but that's not his full name.
Yeah, it's like Al Wife.
Will you tell our friends down the hall to do some radio? I think that's Jeff. He's in Sturgis, and it's funny. Mike jinxed him, the PD. He's like, hey, knock on wood. He's like, been a great week. Haven't had
It's
any technical
actually
problems.
just the quiet part of Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd.
Oh, is that it? Okay. Jeff's been up hanging out with bikers all week. So anyway. So we also have Isaiah Joe coming up. Looking forward to that. His name is Al-Fahim. It's not that actually that weird. Alfahim. I'm guessing it's the
weird enough that we've never seen it in our lives.
right. Well, I'm going to go with Al. Let's call him Al.
That's like a Muslim name.
That is exactly like a Muslim name. I'm
There you
guessing.
go.
So I don't know what his. I'm just trying to figure out if Tesla's Dutch, French, or Italian. So let's start there. Okay, let's just stay in our lane. Anyway, so we got a good couple hours coming up here. Excited about it. Real quick, we got some other things going on in the world of sports we haven't had a chance to touch on. They are talking about maybe moving the Preakness, and they are going to maybe make it 4 weeks after the Kentucky Derby instead of 2 weeks after. Aiden Butler, the chief executive of this racing organization, says the move would be in the interest of horse safety. We've discussed it internally, believe it's in the best interest of horses and horse safety to move the race 4 weeks after the Kentucky Derby. It's also in the interest of the Preakness probably because you'd get a lot more horses in your crappy field, right?
Yeah.
That may be a good second question today, Christian. Would you be in favor of moving the Preakness to 4 weeks after instead of 2 weeks after the Kentucky Derby? I wouldn't have an issue with it. Now, it does sort of taint the achievement to some degree because it's certainly harder to come back 2 weeks later, especially when you're mixing in some fresh horses. But it's still incredibly hard to win the Triple Crown. So I don't think it's a big deal. I'd be fine with it.
Have they asked the horses about this?
They're not talking.
Okay.
They don't do interviews. They're like Johnny Manziel through 10 games of his freshman year or redshirt freshman year. He didn't get to do any interviews until then.
There's a huge movement right now about horse safety. And I mean, they've always cared about owners, have always cared about their horses, but now there seems to be even a more of a movement to do the right thing. I think this is the right thing, and I think it gets done.
I think you're probably right. And if nothing else, it's the appearance that we're trying, right?
And how much does that matter?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
PETA's still going to be barking up their tree, but that's okay. Screw you, PETA. All right, we got 2 hours left coming up. We've got the Red White Report, much more from Sam Pittman and some of his players. We will be talking about another award watch list. Weird. I mean, we have a new one every day, but it's great. It's good to know that Arkansas guys are getting some pub in the preseason. And then we've also got Isaiah Joe coming up in the next hour. So it's going to be a great time. Stay with us. It's a fantastic Friday in the zone. Having some fun. Let's go.
Well, installation wise, I would say we're probably, what are we in practice now? 6 days into practice. I'd say we're probably about 75 or 80% on both sides of the ball of what we're going to install. We still have probably early part of next week to finish up through install. I like what we're doing. I think we're throwing and catching the ball well. Defensively, I think we're keeping the edge well, running to the ball well. We're finding some more linebackers and corners, and we're able to play multiple coverages. So I like where we're at. Not a lot of, what I do, I watch every ounce of film after practice and ND and everything. And then I click on what I believe are busts. And, we probably averaging 3 to 7 a day, and that's 2 spotting on both fields. So I feel like we're doing a really good job there.
Sam Pittman talking yesterday after practice to the media from a padded cell. Poor microphones. Anyway, just kidding. But anyway, good to hear from Coach. Red White Report coming up right now.
The Red White Report is brought to you by Big O Tires, with locations in Conway on Harkrider and in Cabot on Prospect Court. Big O Tires offers an endless selection of wheel and tire combinations. Big O Tires, they have everything you need to fit your budget and style.
All right, we're talking about what's happening with the D-backs quite a bit here in Arkansas, trying to figure out who's going to play the hog position, right?
Yep.
Maybe looking at taking a corner, putting Snacks at the hog. Kind of interesting. Anyway, here's Coach Pittman on DB rotations.
Well, I like the question. It's a fair question, but we're still not. We're a long way out. We're trying to determine that, and I think that's why our guys are kind of. Sometimes they'll go with the one, some with the twos. Moody's the same way, and Day was going to go with the ones, and he had a little bit of a toe infection, and he wasn't able to go. So, but I think we do believe that we've got 4+ corners that we can win with, and if we believe that, certainly Snacks moving into the hog position might be valuable to the team. We'll have to wait and see. I want to make sure we have the corners first.
Snacks. Help yourself, Snacks, at the hog position. Another watch list appearance. Chris Pupal, one of 51 linebackers on the preseason watch list for the Butkus Award, which goes to the best linebacker in college football. And last thing I've got is that this weekend is the Naismith Award induction ceremony. And I would love to make it a point to watch it, although I was intending to watch exhibition football last night and didn't do it. I was very impressed with the quarterback numbers, though, from the guys who played last night.
Did you watch
Except
Wes?
for C.J. Stroud.
I did not.
I didn't either.
We
all said we would.
We also would,
didn't.
yeah. Well, I was cooking dinner and running around. Anyway, C.J. Stroud got trashed for his performance. He was 2 of 4. I'm like, I didn't watch the tape. Maybe he didn't look good, and he did throw a pick.
He had
2
a sack, too.
drives.
But I'm
one
like,
bad sack, 1 bad
threw
interception.
4 balls. I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, I digress. Naismith this weekend. Gary Blair is being inducted into the Naismith Hall of Fame this weekend. So if he starts his speech right now, he should be done by Monday morning. Love Gary.
So he's going in with like D Wade, Tony Parker.
Well, I'm going to go through the whole list right now. Actually, yeah, it's a great group. Pau Gasol's going in. Pau,
Great.
what a year for Pau, right?
Yeah, he's getting
His
his
number
retired.
stuck on the rafters in L.A., and now he's going to the Naismith Hall of Fame.
Off topic. Did you see who the Suns are retiring?
No,
Amari Stoudemire and Sean Marion.
those are good ones.
Yeah,
those are great. Becky Hammond, David Hickson. I don't know David Hickson or
Me either.
Gene Bess.
Nope.
Okay, maybe Pigskin. Where's he at when I need him? Gene Katie's going in. He knows him.
Yeah.
Gene Katie and his hair going to the Naismith Hall of Fame. Dirk Nowitzki, Tony Pacquiao, my favorite Frenchman, is going into the Hall of Fame. Greg Popovich, his coach. What a cool deal to be able to go in the Hall of Fame with your coach. Pretty neat. How the hell is Pop not already in there, right?
That's a good question.
Jim Valvano, Jimmy V, going
It's,
into the
posthumous.
Yes. I mean, they would have liked to have gotten him in there, but
It would have had to been 30 years ago.
yeah, well, they had plenty of time. He did win national time. D. Wade and the 1976 U.S. Women's Olympic team. What can you guys tell me about the 1976 Women's Olympic team?
Did they win gold?
They won gold.
No. They actually got silver, but they really played hard. Actually, don't know anything about them. I need the pigskin in here. He's in there doing the Lord's work. I need him in here to talk to me about this stuff. I guarantee you, he knows Gene Best, David Hickson, and the 76 Olympic team.
1976 was when the men's got cheated.
So we got screwed in the Russian game?
I think so.
That sounds right.
Maybe it was 1972. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I think it was 72 because
Okay.
Doug Collins was on the team, and Doug Collins went pro in 72, so it couldn't have been.
All right.
76.
Look at you. I love how you remember stuff that you didn't actually experience. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Bill Ingram and
Isaiah Joe.
Yeah, 11:20. That's great. I'm glad they're getting here a little late. We can take our break a little early, yeah? How about a little bit more from Mr. Tesla and snacks? Oh, no, we don't have snacks. We have Al Walcott talking about KJ Jefferson.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for the defense, honestly. I mean, how do you handle someone like that can, throw the ball and, be such a threat in the run game as well?
It's AJ Jefferson, you know what I mean? A leader, you know what I'm saying, all around. And then, you got a great offense to complement a great defense,
A lot of praise for the starting quarterback for Arkansas. Pigskin, Gene Best, David Hickson, and the 76 Women's Olympic team. What can you tell me about those three things?
76 women's basketball team.
That's right.
Pat Summitt was on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Enough said. She should.
Ann Myers was on it.
Does that mean Pat's going in twice over then?
Huh?
Yeah, pretty cool as an individual and a team member.
Yeah, her name before she got married was Pat Head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. What can you tell me about Gene Best?
Not much.
How about David Hickson?
Doesn't ring a bell.
I'm shocked. We figured you. We don't know him. We figured you know him. Gary Blair, Pau Gasol, Becky Hammond, Gene Cady in his hair.
Yeah.
Tony Parker, Dirk Nowitzki, Greg Popovich, and Jimmy V. Well, with D Wade all going in the Hall of Fame this weekend.
Those other ones must have either been at a really small school or maybe connected to women's basketball or something.
Hey, Christian, this is your assignment for the break. Where's our intern when we need her? Gene Best, GenEBESS. David Hickson with an X, Hixon. Those are the. I need to know more about them. We're going to take a break. We come back. We'll get the answer to that. And Isaiah Joe will join us in studio with Bill Ingram. Isaiah's in town doing some good work in the community. I love seeing these guys come back. Devo was back in town giving stuff to kids in Jacksonville this week. And then we had, obviously Austin Reeves coming back with his brother and doing a camp. And who else was just here not too long ago? Was Bobby Portis back in town doing some stuff recently too?
Moses Moody.
Moses Moody was, yeah. So it's good to see these guys doing that. I love it.
Big O Tires got a little pop-up shower right now. Roads are wet, slick, don't want to be hydroplaning. You got to have good tires. Check your tires. And if you need tires, Big O Tires. Great selection of tires, always deals. BigOTires.com/deals to see the deals for right now. Name brand tires, they got them. Big O Tire, of course, they got that. And they do more than tires. They'll work on your vehicle, brakes, alignment, a lot of things. Mechanics on hand right now to take a look at your car. Get you back out on the road running smooth as ever. It's Big O Tires in Conway on Harkrider. Big O Tires in Cabot on Prospect Court. Big O Tires, the team we trust.
It's 11:19, and at 11:20, Isaiah Joe is going to grace us with his presence in studio. It's becoming a habit, Wes. We're getting all kinds of star athletes in here. Isaiah,
Moses Moody a couple weeks
had
ago.
Moses Moody,
Neil Erisman.
He's
a star.
We had the
who's the washed up guy
golfer?
that comes in here all the time?
Joe Klein.
Oh yeah, Joe Klein. He comes in sometimes. Just kidding, Joe. Joe brought us lunch this
We had
week. I
Glenn
shouldn't be
Day
a
while
butthole.
you were gone.
Well, a lot of stuff
He
happens when
came
I'm gone.
in
And
for the entire show.
yeah, you guys had President Biden when I was gone. It's great.
But we also
Michael Jordan?
had Fisher.
Steve?
No, the golfer from that gave us the hats. The
Zach.
under 70.
I was-
Zach.
I was
Thank
here
you,
for that
Zach.
one. Yeah. Pigskin, you're in elite company here, bub. Hope you feel good about it.
Hey, speaking of golfers, wait till Christmas, bub. You guys got a good Christmas present coming, as you know. You probably forgot about that.
Oh no, I didn't.
Okay, well, it's
Masters,
waiting on
yeah.
you.
I got Wes's gift already picked
Yeah.
out. I told him he has there's a piece of equipment that he does not have that he needs to have. Make up
Really?
your own jokes. Yes.
It's
It's not related to golf though.
Okay, well,
All right. Speaking of golf, over in Memphis, what the hell happened to our trip? I thought we were going to watch the tournament.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? You do know.
Well,
You
my
were in charge.
daughter's leaving for Pepperdine.
Good.
So-
All the more reason we should go bury ourselves in the vodka tent thanks to Tito's. I don't know what we're doing over here.
Wes is emotionally distraught. He's got a little baby bird flying out of the nest
You know
out to
what?
California.
There's more room for you to stretch out of the house, bud. You know what? One more kid leaves, you can start walking around naked again.
Allison's got to draw the line there.
Well, her eyesight's not what it used to be. You should be fine. Anyway,
I think it's going to be a busy and emotional weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt, son.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I can already preview that I'm going to give my chumps to people who gamble and probably shouldn't, or at least what they're gambling on. So Iowa
State.
State, and Phil Mickelson all in the news.
Mickelson too?
Well, I mean, you should be trying to wager on the Ryder Cup.
He said he didn't.
Yeah, I said I didn't do a lot of crap that I did too, Wes.
Well, you know, he asked the guy, according to the author of this new book, you know, to place the bet for him.
The
and he
author
told
is
him
the
no.
guy.
I know.
How
That's
are
what I
you
said. The
betting
author,
$1
who's the guy?
billion? $1 billion with
Carefully.
a B.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
anyway,
and the guy
that's a
said no,
lot.
so he didn't bet on it.
That's a lot.
So he didn't bet on the Ryder Cup, as far as we know. And
Technically,
then
that's
Mickelson
true.
says he didn't.
well, no, the guy said in the book, he said, I don't know if he got the bet down somewhere else. If you're
Right.
that confident in yourself and you're a degenerate like Phil Mickelson is,
Mhm.
you got the bet down somewhere, right?
Somewhere.
At least something. Maybe not the 400 grand you were trying to wager, but you got some money down. Now he's lucky. I've had that happen before where I was like, I had a bookie or a buddy that had a bookie in college. And there were times where I'm like, I got to get this bet in. I got this bet. And then I didn't get the bet in. And then my bet would have lost. So I was like, whew, I just made $100.
No,
Did
feel
you
like a
shove him
winner?
in the trunk like Seinfeld when they shoved his bookie in the trunk?
I don't
and
remember that
busted
one.
his hands.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, that guy that said Michael Jordan is so phony. He was a bookie
I don't
and
remember this
he
one.
couldn't cover the bet. Jerry won, so he was fixing his trunk and they shoved him in the trunk. It was
It was an
really
accident
good.
and he thought they were roughing him up.
Precisely.
Hilarious.
Yeah, it was good.
Anyway, Rory McIlroy, I don't know if he believes that Phil did or didn't try to make a bet on the Ryder Cup, but he took a shot at him yesterday over in Memphis, which, by the way, Jordan Spieth, tip of the cap. He's out to a great start. Played a really good round yesterday. A couple other guys. Taylor Moore, West, the former Razorbacks, top 10 right now.
Nice.
So hopefully he can keep it up. But anyway, here's Rory.
Totally different topic. The talk of the golf world is this book excerpt that came out about Phil Mickelson. I'm curious what the reaction in there was when you read about it.
I mean, at least he can bet on the Ryder Cup this year because he won't be a part of it. So.
Oh. Whoa. Wow.
Ouch.
How?
Hilarious.
That's good.
Hey, it's funny.
I like it.
Yep. When is the Ryder Cup? September?
Usually, yeah.
Yeah.
Where is it this year?
It's overseas. France, because the winners of the Junior PGA
Where's Isaiah
or it
Tesla
could be
from?
Italian.
Could be in
Italy?
Denmark.
You know, for the last 40 years, they've basically worn us out.
Over
and I
there,
think,
yeah.
but I mean, everywhere. They won here a lot. I think we're finally to the point. I think America is going to go on a winning streak in the Ryder Cup because we have so much more
Depth.
talent. Yeah. Yeah. And we got young guys. Yeah. So,
You taking DeChambeau or Justin Thomas?
oh, is that the pick between those guys for the captain's pick?
That's the discussion. Come on in, Isaiah. Yeah, just make yourself at home.
I'd
That's fine.
probably take Thomas.
Only one of us plays in the NBA. You get to go wherever you want. How are you, buddy? Good to see you. Come on in.
I would take Thomas, I think.
Would you?
Yeah.
DeChambeau's playing so well.
He is, but it'd be better for team chemistry because DeChambeau, most of the guys on the team don't like him that much.
I think
They all like Thomas.
I think he and what's his face kind of made up with each other. I thought they're okay.
Brooks?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
he and Brooksy.
There you go.
They're all taking that live money now. That big live money.
We got some stars in here.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, Bill Ingram is here. Darn right.
Every last one of y'all. Y'all
Yeah.
are stars here.
No, we're losers.
I love that.
It's good to see you. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Yourself?
Isaiah Joe's in the house. It's good to have you. Would you take a live contract right now and go play golf professionally?
What's the money talking about?
Live money.
yeah.
Do
for
it.
sure.
Yeah.
We heard you've got game on the links.
I'm trying to get back into swinging things. You know, I used to play competitively growing up, but
Really?
yeah.
So what's your low round?
My best score was probably like 72.
72.
That was back when I played.
Man.
When I was a
Thanks for letting me
kid
win.
before like 8th grade.
Okay.
That's when I stopped playing in the junior PGA.
Good grief.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
You were shooting even par in 8th grade?
That was my best round. That's my best round. My handicap was probably like a 6.
Did you ever consider playing golf?
I
In college?
I had a decision to make.
Okay, I like it.
It was either golf or basketball. I couldn't do both.
I
Too
didn't know
much
you were
time.
that-
Too much time was. being
Could you
taken.
take Curry
Yeah.
right now if you worked on your game for about a month? You could go out and take him on the golf course.
I could give him a run for his money. I need a good month. of
Okay.
practice,
I'll give you a
'cause
month to do whatever you want.
He plays all the time. Me,
Right,
I try to
right.
get out there when I can, and it ends up not being enough. Yeah, so
Well, he's already signed a max contract, so he doesn't have to work on his basketball game as
exactly.
much.
You know what I mean?
So let me ask you this: if you had to play for your life against Steph Curry, would you rather take him on the golf course or in the basketball court shooting?
Basketball.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
That's good. I like that confidence.
What have you been doing this summer?
Grinding, man. I've been working out, enjoying time with the family. As you know, now gearing up for this camp that we got this weekend. It's been a fun, productive summer. I think we really put a lot of work in. We've really been working on the things that need to build on going into the next season. But other than that, just getting well needed rest time, getting the body right, functional, ready to play 82 games next season.
Do you see a lot of Razorback red in the stands when you're in Oklahoma City?
It's crazy. I do actually. It's a lot of. We have a fan base. The Arkansas fan base is insane. There's love everywhere, not just OKC, but we'll even like the farthest places. You go to like Utah or all the way in LA. You still see Razorback fans, and just the love that they show. I never take it for granted. It's really a blessing to be able to go through that system.
That's cool. What I know he didn't play here, but Austin is obviously out in LA. He was in town not long ago doing a camp. What's your relationship like? Do you stay in touch with the guys that have Arkansas connections?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in touch with quite a few of them. But yeah, you mentioned Austin though. I really just got to meet him and try to get to know him like last season. But yeah, definitely, I think being able to keep that brotherhood, being Arkansas grown and making it out, doing things that most people don't ever get a chance to do. We definitely try to keep it in house and keep a strong connection.
So let's talk about what you're doing in town before we delve into the NBA stuff anymore. What are you up to this week?
Yeah, so I have my shooter shoot camp going on this weekend. We have my 2 sessions on tomorrow. The younger guys going in the morning, and then the older guys going in the afternoon, going up to high school. But really looking forward to getting out with those kids, helping them get better, probably in ways that they won't, get in other camps. But definitely doing that, and if we're getting paid for it, so all the proceeds will be going to Park. Yes,
Awesome.
Positive outreach, positive atmosphere reaches kids. So all the proceeds will be going there. Grew up playing basketball in the Little Rock area, grew up playing through Park, and they've showed so much love to us.
Yeah.
They've been there whenever we needed them. So definitely looking forward to giving back to them and just giving back to the kids and having some fun.
That's awesome. Do y'all have openings still, or are you guys sold out?
So all of our spots have filled up,
Okay.
but I was getting some more people asking me like, "Can I get in your camp? Can I get in your camp?" I'm like, all our spots are filled up, but I'm gonna see what I can do. So I went to go talk to my dad, and I was able to shake him down and open up a few more spots. Shout out Derek Joe. That's my pops right there.
I love it.
So we have a few more spots open up for the rest of the day. If anybody wants to come join, anybody asks me wants to come join, you know where to go. IsaiahJoe.com. It'll send you right to the registration. Sign up there, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow.
It's awesome. And Bill, you're involved in this too? You helping out?
Yeah, I'm helping out from a standpoint where just whatever he needs, whatever he need me to do, then I'm here. So
Yeah.
I'm helping out from that standpoint. But now I don't have an official role.
Yeah.
I'm just hanging out.
I got you. Well, that's nice. It's good to see you guys.
too.
Isaiah, do you ever-
Bill's real
Yeah.
humble. He's real humble.
He is.
That's the man right there. That's the man.
We all know. We'll let him pour mouth himself a little bit if he wants to. So, did you real deal as a kid? Did you play growing up in the real deal or not?
Did I? That was our event.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was our tournament right there.
Did
And,
you own it?
Yes, we did. Most definitely.
What's your first impressions, Bill? What do you remember about Isaiah as a youngster?
Well, me and his dad been friends. We went to the U of A together, so we've been friends for over 30 years now. But when Zay been involved in our programs, it's basically really a baby.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when Derek's wife were in labor, he was with us on a trip, and he had to lead the trip to go home to make sure he was born. So he's been around us since he was a baby. He's been a gym rat since he was a little bitty guy. He actually got a chance to coach him in the latter years of his 15, 16, and 17. So, and he always responded. I was extremely tough on him at times, and he always responded positive. So, just a great young man.
Love it.
When did you know that he could be special?
I think when he was like 16, going into his sophomore year, he made a really big turn. And of course he started growing some too, which helps a lot. I always plot him and Daryl making they deal was kind of the same as the way they grew into themselves and grew into the program. But when Zay was 16, he took a really big jump. College coaches started going crazy about him at the national tournament. He went to the Pangos camp, and that was the first time an NBA guy even mentioned him. Said, "This kid right here, it's amazing what these guys see at that young age." He went out. He said, "When I see this kid right here, and I look at all the rest of these guys, this kid got a chance of being a pro because of his ceiling." And then he went through that process of not only getting taller, his body started developing more, and we started challenging him on doing more than just. And he'll tell you this, me and him had some knockdown dragouts, but I want him to do more than just make threes. I said, look, you're not going to run around and shoot 3-pointers all the time. So what else you going to do to affect the game? He said, well, coach, I can take charges. I said, I'm glad you said that. I said, I'm glad you said that. I want you to take at least 3 charges and get at least 3 charges every game. And then, of course, I could bribe them and say, hey, if I give you $2, they thought $2 or $3 was big money back then. I give them $3 a charge, $4 a charge. Hey, they were throwing bodies was flying everywhere.
I love it. So what's a workout look like for you today? How many shots you want to get up in a workout?
So it depends on what we're going for. We have different type of days. If we're going for a high volume shooting day, it can get around 500. If it's more of a technique focused day or like balance focused day, it may not be as much, but just more focus on, the body, the positioning, the footwork and all that. And then we have like conditioning days where we do like some sprints in the shots and all that. But it just varies. But growing up is probably when I shot the most. I was getting up like 2,500 a week.
Good grief.
Yeah. So that was our goal, was at least 500 a day.
To get shooter's elbow? You tuck it out?
I think I got it now.
Okay. Maybe let's rest it up. How old were you when it occurred to you, like, I want to play or I can play in the NBA? How old were you when you believe that?
So me, I've always been a person. I've always been in the moment, and I was always under the radar, never one of the best prospects or anything like that. So I tried my best to be in the moment. Of course, I had dreams of playing in the NBA, but I knew that in order to make it a reality, I had to be focused now. And so it wasn't until, for me, honestly, my freshman year in college, after that freshman year in college, I was like, okay, we have a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it like you thought it would be, or did it far surpass your expectations? Was it less than you thought? What's it been like?
I mean, it's been fun. It's been enjoyable. It's been a grind. I think being in the mix is a lot different than looking on the outside, because now you see all the good, but you also see all the bad, that comes with it, but mostly good. But
what's the best thing about being in the NBA?
Just playing. If you're somebody like me, you just love basketball, just playing on the highest level. I mean, most people dream to play in the NBA,
right?
Or whatever professional sport is their favorite. They dream to get there, and just having an opportunity to showcase my skills to the rest of the world is just a blessing in itself.
So what's the worst thing?
We'll say that for another time.
Okay.
Now, you see the kid behind you in the glass. He's the president of the Shea fan club. Is he a pretty good teammate?
Oh yeah, Shea's a great teammate. All of my teammates are great. Yeah. We really gel very, very well, and the thing is, we're all around the same age. So.
Yeah, stick those on so Christian can talk to you. He's our big Oklahoma. How have you
Yeah.
noticed he's dressed the part?
I met Christian on the way up here. I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, you're
Yeah.
definitely dressed for the party, man. I like your get up.
He didn't just get that. He's an OKC fan. He's been through the tough times too.
Yeah, for sure. But all like I said, all my teammates are great. Shay's great. We're all around the same age, so we're kind of into the similar activities. We're really close. But yeah, those are my guys. Those
You
my
guys are
brothers.
about ready to start winning, aren't you?
Oh yeah, we've been ready to start winning.
I like that.
And have you seen your NBA 2K rating?
I don't keep up with that stuff. I think I saw something at the end of the season that showed like my rating increased, but
Yeah.
I can't remember the number.
Well, Shay was at 92 and Christian's like
93 actually.
Oh, 93. He's
Ah.
like, he'll be at a 99 in a year. He's in love with him.
I wouldn't be mad if that need to be. Yeah. What do we need to talk to?
Exactly.
What kind of video games do you play? Video games?
Yeah, I'm more of a Call of Duty, Apex type of person.
All right, Apex. I like it.
Yeah.
Who would you say is the second best shooter on Oklahoma City? Assuming you're the first. Of course.
Ooh. Okay, we got some shooters on the squad. I'm gonna have to go with Trey Man.
All
He
right.
he always gives me a run for my money whenever we go head to head in shooting competitions.
All right, and a little bit tougher question. For those that don't know, OKC is pretty loaded with talent, a lot of young talent.
Mm-hmm.
And I think right now there's 19 or 20 guys on the roster. And obviously you have to cut that down to 15.
Mhm.
Do you guys ever talk about, consolidation? Because before the season, there's going to be some guys let go that are going to, go play for other teams and actually have a role.
Yeah, we just try to, while we're together, we just try to stick together and don't really get into the business side of things. That's not really our place. But because you never know at the end of the day, you never know who's gonna get let go, who's gonna get bought in. You just want to make, if you're trying to make the connections, you want to, make them while you have everybody there and you're not really worried about anything else other than, playing basketball and doing what you're supposed to do.
Isaiah Joe's joining us in studio today. If you're just tuning in, you can catch the show on YouTube live as well. And we're also streaming on Facebook and Twitter and everywhere else. And Bill Ingram's hanging out with us too as well. Appreciate both you guys coming up and hanging out with us. When you're at camp, so are you using drills you grew up with or stuff that you've taken from the NBA or a combination?
Yeah, a little bit of both. I think people come to this camp, they want to get, stuff that I've learned in the NBA, but it's called the Isaiah Joe Shoot Camp. So I'm pretty sure they want to dive into a few of the drills that I get into daily.
You can teach them how to take charges?
I teach anybody to take. So what I can do is I can tell you how to take a charge. Now, being able to go out there and lay your body on the line is a whole nother story.
Hey, if there's $4 for it, I'm in. I mean, where do I sign up? So, what about Jalen? How's he doing?
Oh man, Jalen's doing great.
Well, both Jalen's doing pretty good, huh?
Both of them. They both really did their thing last season, and I'm really happy for them. They both showed a lot of promise, even when doubters may have came in one ear, they let it go right out the other. So they had an amazing season. They're having an amazing summer so far, and really looking to get this next season kicked off. So I wish the best for them. Hopefully they stay with the OKC and we stay together for as long as possible. Because I love those guys.
What do you call each of those guys?
So J Dub is, they're both. I was about to call them. They're both.
Santa Clara is J.
Yeah, Santa Clara is J Dub, and University of Arkansas, one from Arkansas, is J Will.
J Will and J Dub. Okay, gotcha.
Where's your favorite spot on the court when you catch it? This is money.
I get that question quite a bit, and I feel like I'm one of the only people with this answer, but I don't necessarily have a favorite spot. I feel like an open shot is an open shot, and I take contested shots as well. So if I feel that it's a shot that I can get up, it's my favorite spot. Now, statistically speaking, there may be a spot where the percentage is higher. I'm not sure.
Do they track all that?
Somebody does. They track everything.
Yeah.
Christian probably knows.
Yeah.
What's his best spot?
I don't know that. I don't look at guys' shot charts a lot of time.
So with the obviously OKC is a relatively small market NBA wise, but what's some of the best things that you've been able to enjoy, the trappings of fame in your early part of your career? You don't seem like a guy that really relishes that maybe some of the other guys do, but what would have been some of the nice advantages?
I'm really a low maintenance person. Like I don't get into much actually, especially I love OKC because like you can do nothing but focus there. So I'm to the gym in the morning, then I go home, I nap, whatever, do whatever I do at the house. I'm a homebody. and then I go back to the gym later that night and repeat the next day. I think just being in the NBA, I think the best thing I could take away is just, you know, the love that, you know, get from fans and people. You know, some people take that for granted, but I never will, because, you know, that can be there one day and out the window the
Right.
next. So, you know, I really cherish all the love that I get from OKC fan base, Arkansas fan base. It really means a lot.
But
You
I
got
mean,
any
like
favorite restaurants in
yeah,
Oklahoma
I was gonna
City?
say reservations, tea times. I mean, you got to have some
Yeah.
advantage of being an NBA player,
Favorite
right?
golf courses?
So speaking of tee times, I have not played a golf course in OKC yet, but there's one that I've really been looking forward to get on, and I've been invited a few times, just haven't been able to make it out. It was
Galardia.
I live right next to Galardia, but no, it was Oak Tree National.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot.
Edmond, yeah.
I've heard
Yeah.
a lot. I've heard a lot about that one. So
Get over to Ted's Cafe Escondido for the Mexican food. They got good Mexican food there. Yeah.
okay.
There's a good barbecue.
Okay, so
There's
like
a good barbecue
did,
by your house. The one that looks like a gas station out by Mercy. It's over by Galardia. Yeah.
what, maybe Tez's Wings or something like that?
No, it's right next to that. I can't forget the name. But Oklahoma City's got some food. I lived there for 10 years. So yeah.
All right.
What's your
Can't gain
spot?
a lot of weight there at Brahms. for that ice cream. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a spot out there, and it may not be the best spot to a lot of people's opinion, but I go there quite a bit. It's called Firebirds. They have really good, salmon, and their bread and butter is probably the best bread and butter I've ever had.
I like it.
Is that on a May Avenue by the mall and all that?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know where that is.
You are a simple man, Isaiah. I respect that.
I'm
But
very,
listen, a
very
good piece
simple.
of bread is hard to beat, man. I'm with you. I'm definitely down for that.
Which stop do you look forward to the most when you're on the road? Is there a city that you really cherish?
Oh, I think I like the Miami trip. Is probably one of my favorites. It's just always warm there. It's always good weather.
South Beach. Yeah.
I'm leaving OKC. I got on a coat and a hoodie maybe underneath, and then I get to LA. I put shorts on, t-shirt, and I mean not LA, but Miami. LA's the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Miami, and then
Miami's got a lot of good clubs too, right?
Nightlife is nightlife.
On the flip
He's
side,
working
what's
on
the
his
worst?
game, Wes. He's not in the club.
Yeah, he's a homebody. Didn't you hear him?
On the flip side,
Wes
what's the worst?
hasn't
trip you
heard
make?
nothing I said.
Welcome to
What's
the show.
what's the toughest town to go to?
Ooh.
The worst trip.
Sacramento.
See, Sacramento is probably one of the bottom, but it's not the bottom because the weather is good there. most of the
Detroit?
time. For me, it's probably got to be like Cleveland.
Cleveland. There you go.
like- yeah.
What's so great about Cleveland? Joakim Noah never wanted to go there. That's for sure. He liked that spot. You know that clip? We played that a million times on the show. You ever heard that clip, Isaiah?
Which one?
Joakim Noah talking about going to Cleveland.
No, I don't believe that I have.
You remember him? Are you old enough to remember Joakim
Yes,
Noah?
I
My
know-
God.
yes, I know Joakim Noah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess obviously from the NBA, but not from
Florida.
Florida, yeah, maybe a little bit too much before.
His
your time.
dad won the French Open
Cleveland's
back in
cool.
the 80s.
I mean, I never heard anybody say I'm going to Cleveland on vacation. I mean, what's so good about Cleveland?
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to Cleveland on vacation unless their family's from there. So, you get back Northwest. I mean, what are you getting all over the state, or what are you doing while you're home?
Yeah, so man, I'm from Fort Smith, Arkansas, which
Right.
is 45 minutes from my college town. So yeah, I was up there yesterday.
Did you do a camp up there too, or just down here?
Just here,
Okay.
here. Yeah. But yeah, I get up there all the time. I worked out in the practice facility yesterday. Got out and played the Blessings. We don't have to talk about what I shot, but that's
How do
all
you
it-
do? That's not bad. Yeah, that's a pretty good one to get on to.
Yeah,
That's good to have. So they just did their mile deal yesterday. Do you remember? Did you guys do that when you were there? Did Coach Must have you guys run the mile?
No,
Like for times?
I don't even think Coach Marshall's there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
he was the last.
that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they did this mile deal. I guess you guys probably don't do that, but we were really marveling at the times. Everybody was
Everybody
under 6
was under
minutes.
6 minutes.
Jalen
Yeah,
Graham
we-
was the last guy, and he was under
we-
6.
Yeah, we did the mile,
Okay.
and it was
What was your mile time?
my mile was 5:28.
Nice.
That's salty.
Nice.
Would be near the top.
I could have a bear chasing me. I could not break 6 minutes.
No,
I mean, literally.
you just give up.
No, I'd just
Eat
be
me.
like, eat me. Yeah, at least I'm not going to be tired. Just go ahead and let's get it over with.
I think you underestimate yourself.
No, I'm sure. I'm positive I can't do it. Yeah. I mean, I have to bust my butt to get an 8-minute mile. Like, forget 6 minutes. It's not even
When
chance.
you get old, you lose all your speed.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
tough.
but when you get
And
chased,
desire to
when you're
live.
getting chased by a bear, you forget about all that. You're just gonna be sore later. That's all that means, But in the moment,
No, Isaiah, I'm going to be dead later, actually. But it's a good theory.
We had one
Uh,
question for you on our text line. They see the Loves patch on your Oklahoma City Thunder jerseys.
Mhm.
Does Loves do anything for the players?
Just one of the big donors, I believe.
You don't get any beef jerky or
They
anything?
give you free gas, free drinks, anything like that?
Me personally, I don't even go to Love's gas station, which is
It's
probably
just it's
maybe
the
a bad-
jersey deal.
Yeah.
We got to get Isaiah into the Doublebees family.
Yeah.
I'll talk to our people. Yeah, I'm just saying.
It's just right down the road. you
Yeah,
can pop in there.
It's where you gas it, grab it, and go.
Loves
Isaiah.
jerky's pretty fire, though, I gotta say. I mean,
Really?
yeah. Everybody's a Bucky's. They're all Bucky's people,
Yeah.
but it's pretty solid. I will say that. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. Y'all sold me.
Okay. Well, listen, I'm thinking beef jerky's right up your alley. I mean, you're a guy that
Oh, yeah,
obviously doesn't.
I love beef jerky.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
That's good. So when do you guys get back and start getting serious? When's camp get together and all that?
So we report back around Labor Day. I'm pretty sure official training camp will start later in the month, leading up to our first, preseason game, October 9th. But yeah, really looking forward to that. Like I said, it's been a good summer. But I'm ready to get started again.
Nothing against OKC, but would you ever want to be in a bigger market or a different town where the weather's a little bit better? I mean, is that something that's on your mind maybe for a contract down the road?
Yeah, I love OKC.
Okay, good
Yeah,
answer.
yeah.
It is not. I mean, it is nice because you're an NBA guy, but you're playing in a town that's very navigable. It's easy to get around and do all the
Yeah.
things. You got an airport. You got all the things you need.
It may be, huh?
Close to home.
Close to home. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it may be a smaller market compared to all the others, but I'm close to home. My family gets to come to all the home games if they, and they barely missed any last season. It's right up my alley. I'm a homebody. It's not, a crazy ton to do there. So I'm focused doing what I'm supposed to do, to impact the team whenever it's time to step on the floor. So I couldn't really ask for much more.
You think if you guys are playing somebody kind of scrubby, we could get 3 tickets? I can bring the big Oklahoma State fan over, or Oklahoma City fan. Excuse
Yeah,
me.
y'all are welcome anytime.
You get that?
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Okay, we'll come for a game then. That'd be
I'll
great.
DM
Welcome
you.
for sure.
Um,
Awesome.
When you broke into the league with the 76ers, were you anybody's rook? You had to get people donuts or carry their bags or anything like that?
Yeah, the most we had, I'm not gonna lie, the most I had to do was get food occasionally and carry bags, but it was ours was kind of dialed back a little bit because we came in right when COVID was
COVID,
started, so they was like, everybody separate,
Yeah.
not, but yeah, Mike Scott was my vet.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out
From
Mike
Atlanta
Scott.
Hawks?
He was a hell of a vet.
Who have you taken under your wing since you got there now?
OKC.
Mhm.
It's crazy. It's like
Everybody's around the same age.
yeah, everybody's around the same age, and I nobody really. I think Shea may be one of the only ones that that acts like a vet like that. But
Yeah.
all the rest of us are like we're so close to the same age, and yeah, I'm going into my 4th season, but the last season was like my first actually like being productive for a whole year.
Right.
So that's really all I was worried about.
Do you guys socialize together a lot, or you kind of get away from each other when you're off the
No,
court?
we socialize a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go out to eat all the time.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, even when we're back in OKC, we
The majority of you guys are teammates single? I mean, not married?
yes.
Yeah.
We have a few.
Yeah.
but
Gotcha.
shout out Trey, man. Just recently
Yeah, he just got married.
got married. Yeah.
Very nice.
Have you got to play with Vasily Micic or Kassan Wallace or any of them yet?
No.
Okay.
Well, Vasa actually got to play with him in Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah, we ran some pickup sessions there. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Is Vasa's Vasily's
Yeah.
nickname? Okay.
Did you go down did you hang out the summer league?
Yeah. So I was there for almost the whole summer league.
Okay.
Yeah.
Strictly business?
Yeah. Of course.
Of course.
You can. Yeah. Vegas. You get tired of Vegas after like a day and a half.
Well, 3 days maybe, yeah, but I wouldn't want to spend the whole summer out there. Plus, it's 185 degrees, so it's
Yeah.
not my jam.
Right. The crazy thing is I think it was like the next week after I left Vegas, after it was like 105 to 110, it's like 87 degrees out there. Like,
It's nice. You missed it.
what's that?
Yeah, we were there in June or July one time for a Jermaine Taylor fight back in the day, and it was 100 degrees at midnight. I was like, this is not normal. This is not good.
Right.
Yeah, that place is an
Right.
oven. Anyway, well, listen, I think we're all excited. I mean, when you look at the roster, you guys have a very promising season coming up here.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. I think it's definitely going to be one to look out for. We're all excited. Hopefully the fans are just excited as us, to get it kicked off, but definitely big things coming.
We're definitely making a trip.
Road trip.
Yeah, for
Uh-oh.
sure. I love it. I've been to a Thunder game before. I love it over there.
I've never been there.
I got a buddy who had he does a lot of business with the Bank of Oklahoma, and we sat up in their suite. It was pretty spectacular. But that was several years ago, so we're definitely time to go back.
I've never actually been to Oklahoma
You've seen
City.
them, but not there.
Yeah, I've
Really?
seen them.
Yeah.
Like I went to the Grizzly game last year.
We gotta change that.
Let's
Okay.
go.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm ready.
Cattleman Steakhouse is right down the road from the arena. Get you a big steak.
This dude's focused.
Yeah.
He's like, food, food.
I'm already
food,
thinking
food,
about
yeah.
it. Food, 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 food.
Designated driver.
You gotta have
Yeah.
one. You gotta have somebody like that.
Yeah, I know. Well, he's my preacher too.
Yeah, and I don't drink, so they can drink and I can drive. So,
Hey.
yeah.
Perfect.
Listen, yeah, we need a tour guide
Seriously.
and a designated driver.
I know the roads there.
Kristen doesn't drink either, but we'll let you come anyway.
I get them on the turnpike, man. We get there in a minute.
Yeah.
I like that. Isaiah, good luck, man. And kudos to you. And really, it's been great this summer. We've been celebrating all these guys from the state coming back and either giving back or doing camps. I love when guys are putting their feet on the ground and helping youngsters and inspiring them. I think it's awesome what you're doing.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Yeah. One more thing before before I get off here, I just want another big shout out to Summerwood. That is the foundation that is letting us utilize their gym for the camp, and they've been a big help, through this whole thing. So I want to shout out them.
That's awesome. IsaiahJoe.com. If you want to get one of those last couple spots.
IsaiahJoe.com. Y'all know where to go. We opened it up for a few more spots. So if you're looking to, come get better and have some fun, you know where to find me.
Good luck, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
you.
It's 11:50. We'll come back in just a sec. And we'll wrap up our hour. All right, went a little long there with Isaiah Joe. That was a treat, man. And we were talking in the
Man,
break.
excellent.
Listen, we are so fortunate in this state. Philip Martin's here too, and another treat. We are fortunate to have Philip as a columnist. But we just went through the list. I mean, there are, and I do this every time. But I mean, we hung out with Austin, we hung out with Moses Moody, now Isaiah. We know Bobby Portis has been great about coming back and giving back to the community. All these former, stars here in the state who are now making money in the professional ranks, for them to come back and give back. And again, it's not just sending money. It's coming back and actually actively inspiring people. And again, when they see these guys, they're like, it makes it real, I would think, to a young person.
Sure.
Like, man, this dude is right before my eyes. This guy's playing in the NBA. It's so cool.
Yeah, that's what I always say about the great thing about film festivals and stuff. When you get people down here, people look at them and go, hey, that's just a guy. I mean, Austin Reeves was on my flight to New York a couple weeks ago, and it's just sort of like, it's just cool. I mean, it's like he's walking down the gangway and the baggage guys are shouting at him, and stuff like that. It's just, but he's just a guy, he's like a big, tall guy.
He is.
Yeah. And he's got a lot of talent and he's doing stuff with it, but he's not like.
Did he fly first class?
He was in first class. It was in one of those little tiny planes,
He's got big legs.
Well,
Long
I
legs.
mean, yeah.
That's just being reasonable.
I would too if I could.
Sure.
Sit in the exit row. That's what Wes learned.
Well,
Yes,
get,
that
get
does help.
extra.
That's
leg room.
exactly what you do.
Exit
Yeah.
row.
You figure it out.
Except they ask you, in the event of an emergency, are you willing to help? And I
No.
have to say, if I can pee my pants while I'm doing it, sure.
No, I'm not helping.
All right, I got a Champs and Chumps real quick here. And if you want to sponsor, you can hit sales at 1037thebuzz.com. All right, I got to give, obviously, chumps to all the people who either gambled or are alleged to have gambled. And I'm going to start with, obviously, Iowa State. Now the story's finally come out that there's a player who bet against his own team. It was bound to happen. We knew it was on the way. So these dudes are never going to play college football again, and it sucks. What a waste of time. Iowa's in the same boat, but honestly, I think Iowa State's finally leading the way when it's related to the Hawkeyes, but in all the wrong ways, unfortunately. So those are my chumps this week, and I'll throw Phil Mickelson in there too, if in fact he did try to place a wager on the Ryder Cup. But regardless, nobody needs to be gambling that amount of money. I don't care how much money you have. My champ this week, Shohei Ohtani, who is a freak show. He is the first player to have 10 wins as a pitcher and 40 home runs in the same season. He will probably do it again and again. He is a super freak, and I think he's in like the top 6 of just about every major category for pitching and hitting. It's ridiculous what he's doing right now.
He's also the first to ever, I think, hit 10 home runs and get 10 wins in 2 different seasons ever.
That's amazing.
My champ is going to be NBA opening night. I know nobody's caring about the NBA right now because it's off season.
We just did 40 minutes.
We did just have Zay on. Lakers versus Nuggets and Suns versus Warriors. Both two
Those are
good
good games,
Two
yeah.
great games.
All right.
I got chump Baltimore Orioles for suspending their play-by-play announcer.
Absolutely.
That was ridiculous. What are we doing? Marketing, PR, you got to be better at that. It's just a bad look for a good team. And it's a good story, and now it's overshadowing the story because people are still talking. Well, I'm talking about it, but national radio was still talking about it last night.
Well, the guys are going to stick up for their own, and the guys around the league are definitely bashing the Orioles because of it, so appropriately so.
Champ of the week, good luck to Taylor Moore. He's off to a great start. He already has a couple of birdies today. He's up to 3rd place, 1 shot out of the lead at the FedEx over in Memphis. 2 under through 3 holes. He's 6 under for the tournament, so a little zone love for Taylor Moore.
Chump, I think they got it last week. They'll get it again this week. Pac-12, just bafflingly bad management. I don't understand what they were doing. News were that they were blindsided by Oregon and Washington going to the Big Ten. It's like we had heard about it for a while.
Yeah, you're bad at your job, and you're also completely asleep at the wheel. It's not good.
2022, they turned down $30 million a year, or $30 million for each team
Yep.
from ESPN.
They wanted 50.
Yeah.
And ESPN came back and said, take a hike.
You get nothing.
So now they don't even have a conference anymore.
No.
Also, I saw a story about somebody from the Netherlands basically dragging the United States women's soccer team, Netherlands star Lenneth Berenstein, by big mouths, she said. So, you know what? Tip of the cap. The orange rule.
Touche.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, we are up against it. Philip's got a review coming up, and we will also talk to Tom Murphy, who just got out of camp.
I mean, I really like Brad Spence and Sanford, both of them. But Spence makes plays every day. As a matter of fact, and I'm not great at singling out one guy, but I did single him out after Pasadena. He seemed like he was all over the field. Jaheim Thomas is coming on. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to do a whole lot this summer, but. Yeah, so I think we're getting closer to 5 there that we think with Sanford coming on. I think and Manny Powell. I think we'll be able to have enough linebackers with that.
Well, that's good news. You need somebody to tackle some people. All right, we welcome you back in for the final hour. We don't normally do sports here. We talk entertainment for a few minutes. Philip Martin's here, but he can talk some sports too. Tom Murphy had to move his time around. Then Isaiah Joe came in. We were having so much fun with him. We ran a little late, so Tom agreed to join us here for just a minute. It's great to have not one but 2 Arkansas Democrat-Gazette writers
just talked
at
about
once.
Tom.
Yes.
We were just talking
glowingly, I assume.
Yeah, off the air. Unless like last week, it was going out on the air.
No, I don't know what happens when I'm not here. So
Yeah.
Tom is listening now, and he's on with us from Fayetteville. Tom, apparently they were talking all kinds of good things about you. It's good to have you on. How are you?
Oh, awesome. It's been great. Just got through interviewing Deke Adams and the defensive lineman and sitting here in the stadium doing a little work.
I like Coach Adams. That's good stuff. So yesterday we were talking about a couple of key areas here, and everybody's kind of curious what's going to happen with the defensive backs. And, it sounds like they've been looking for a little extra help at corner so they can slide somebody over into that nickel spot. And looks like maybe they've got a lead on that.
Yeah, correct. For the second consecutive day, Snacks Johnson has played in the nickel role. And what that allows is for Jalen Lewis, who's a redshirt freshman, to be the second teamer. And I think he's going to help them this year, but I think the fact that they have experienced cover guys that they can move around is a plus, because it's all about your best 5 and then filling in behind that. But I would say the safety is a big concern. But overarching view, when you look at this team, they are deeper right now. Like we just talked to Torian Carter about this. They have more 300-pound guys, more guys they can rotate in at tackle. They were working about 3 guys in preparation for the Liberty Bowl last year. And now, they're talking about going 3 deep and how you lose effectiveness if you're playing on the D-line for 50 snaps or more in a game. And so the more they can take off certain guys, the better. And then when you get into critical downs, you can make sure that Landon Jackson is on the field or Trajan Jeffcoat or Zach Williams, whoever your best DNs are going to be, and then your best tackles too. So it's when I look across the defense, I see deeper than since I've been covering the team.
Well, that's good. Like that. Linebacker-wise, again, a lot of question marks there going into the season other than Pooh Paul, who was named to the Butkus Award watch list. Every day has been a new watch list guy, right? So it's been kind of fun. It is a little silly because you're talking about 50, 60 guys in a lot of cases, but it's nice to have them get some preseason looks and some preseason respect, which is something we haven't had a lot of late. But as far as the linebacking core, Coach was praising a few guys after practice yesterday.
He really was. And breaking news, Pooh Paul was not participating in today's practice, but the word is he'll be back soon. He's a guy you don't want to lose. Because I think when they take the poll of these players, he's going to be a team captain, very strong voice, just a kid who has it. And so, but what that allows now for the next day or two, till he comes back, will be Jaheim Thomas, a kid they brought in from Cincinnati, who did not go through spring, who was injured during the summer, gets him more quality reps with a higher unit. And today it was with the first team, and he worked there with Jordan Crook. And then you got Antonio Greer, the transfer who was here in spring. He's working on the second team. And so it just allows you to have more depth in your unit. And I think they're going to – and Brad Spence was the guy working with second team, and he's who you were referencing that Sam Pittman spoke highly of yesterday, that his speed, making plays all over the field, made a hash mark type run yesterday to get somebody. So I think – the linebacker depth, they're starting off at a good spot.
Yeah. Well, you want to have a lot of depth in your unit. That's no question about it. I think we can all agree to that. Quarterback also, that's an area where we don't really talk about depth too much, but KJ Jefferson's obviously been dinged up a little bit during his career. And Coach was glowing about a guy we expected him to talk really well of, but also maybe a guy who's going to end up as a third string quarterback getting a little bit of love from coach yesterday.
Yeah, he was. Criswell and Cade Fortin battling for the number 2 spot. I wrote about Fortin. He had a couple of really sweet deep balls, one to Sam Mbake, and he was just beyond Snacks Johnson for a touchdown. And another one to, might have been Cameron Bibby. I can't remember who it was, but a really nice deep ball he threw for touchdowns yesterday. And then when you talk to guys like defenders and other players on the team, they talk about his athleticism. He can really run, and he has one of the best passes. Isaac Tesloff said this yesterday, one of the best passes that he's ever caught. And so here's something that when we're going through camp, you never quite get the read on, and that is when plays break down, what KJ Jefferson and Criswell can give you as a runner and how many third downs they can convert when everybody's covered and they make something happen. I mean, we saw KJ do that time and again, even when he was corralled last year. And I think they're feeling that Criswell, between his speed and athleticism, he's going to be able to do the same thing when he plays.
Hey, real quick on a follow-up, Tom, on the Pooh thing, is that an injury, you think, or have you heard, or is it a personal issue, or what's going on there?
No, he was just on the side. He looked a little slowed, in pain too. You can just tell he does not like to miss practice. But he was there, and the word is he'll be back soon. I mean, Devin Manuel, the offensive tackle, was over there today too. That was news. And they actually got 3 guys who were out yesterday. They got them back, and it was all D linemen. It was John Morgan, the end, and Tank Booker and Kiwi Rose, 2 of your 300-pound defensive tackles. They were back in there today.
Tom, I've heard some good things just on the side about the defensive ends, that they look really good, putting a lot of pass rush on the quarterbacks. But then that worries me about the offensive tackles. Do you think the defensive ends are that good, or the tackles are struggling, or a little of both? I mean, what's your feel looking at these guys?
Yeah, Wes, that analysis in my book kind of goes back to the first scrimmage of spring, where they apparently just ate them up, and we didn't see that. And to quote Landon Jackson from today, in fact, minutes ago, we've been dominant. And so, yeah, that does raise questions about what your tackles are going to do. And I don't know, if I was ranking all of the biggest issues that face this team, how the offensive tackles play would be very high up there. I think I would put them and safety depth as my 2 biggest. Now, Sam Pittman yesterday said he really likes their offensive tackles and they're playing with greater confidence, all this. So, I mean, A, that's a hype job for those kids, give them confidence. But B, he believes in their talent. So, bottom line, I do think the ends are going to be better. I think they're going to get pass rushers between Jackson and Jeff Coat and Williams and, Jashad Stewart and some other guys, John Morgan and Nico. They're going to get some pass rush this year. And as camp goes along, maybe we'll see what the offensive tackles are looking like. But if you don't have Devin Manuel in there, Andrew Chambly, he's a redshirt freshman from down y'all's way who was up with the ones today. Is he ready for that type of challenge? Because they haven't had quite the turnover at tackle in several years, where that's going to be under great scrutiny though for the season.
Is there a backup plan that maybe Chambly doesn't work out, or some of these is there a guard that they can move out there, slide out there, that they would feel comfortable with?
Well, they're trying not to do that, and Sam Pittman has referenced that, meaning like they don't want Brady Latham to have to move out to tackle. So I think Marion Harris, he's the second right tackle right now. He would probably fall into that mix. But they're expecting Devin Manuel to be back relatively soon, and so we'll see what happens there. But it's not a position you want to get dinged up at too deeply.
All right, Tom, we got to run. Thank you so much for making some time for us today. I know it's been a kind of a busy day for you, but thanks for squeezing in a few minutes for us, and we will talk to you next week.
No worries. Everyone have a great weekend.
All right, you too. Tom Murphy from the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Let's get to our entertainment real quick.
Today's entertainment report is brought to you by Bell & Sword Gentlemen's Clothing in Conway. Check them out on Facebook and Instagram, or stop by Bell & Sword at 1011
Street
in Conway.
1011 Oak Street in Conway now. There will be a new open coming soon. Just haven't been able to get that turned around yet. They've moved across the street, 1011 Oak Street. Anyway.
It's a better location across the street.
Yeah, more space for them. It's good. I figured you boys would have something to say about this with Robbie Robertson passing away. The band all the great songs that they put out over the years. So, thoughts? Philip, I'm surely you interviewed him at some point.
Oh, yeah. Robbie. Well, you know, if you're from Arkansas, if you live in Arkansas, you've got to be on the Levon side of the debate. But there is a debate about all this stuff, you know. And you know, I don't know. You know, I have a friend, Jay Russell, the movie director, who actually worked with both Levon and Robbie on different projects, movie projects, and he says they both had a point, and they both were really, you know. But the thing is Levon had to work his whole life. Right. And Robbie got rich because what makes you rich in that business is the publishing rights. And, you know, if you write the melody and the lyrics and the melody, that's the song. It doesn't matter if you do the arrangement like Levon did, or if you inspired if you told the story that the song got written about, that didn't matter. So everybody in the band was bitter at Robbie, but Robbie kind of had a point because he's like coming into the studio and everybody's laying around there all, you know, strung out on heroin.
He was doing the work.
Yeah, he's doing all the work. He's like, well, if I'm doing all the work, I'm taking this. I'm taking the publishing rights.
That's funny you say that because I was taking Levon's side. My brother
Levon's side.
Brother pulled me aside. He said the rest of those guys were all getting loaded and high, and Robertson was doing the work.
Well, Levon was the absolute soul of that band. And Robbie, if you really technically, he's a very good guitar player. He's
kind of the brains of the band.
Yeah, he's the brains. Robbie did the math. You know, it's sort of like he's the guy that was the business guy and the guy that was interested in all that. He wanted to get out of touring and nobody else did. When they did The Last Waltz, nobody else wanted to quit. Robbie wanted to quit.
Right.
I mean, it's sort of like it's really sad that there's a storybook ending right at the end that Robbie came to his hotel or the hospital room and they reconciled and all this. I have it on pretty good authority that what happened is Robbie came, knocked on the door, and Levon said, "You can't come in. We ain't friends no more." You know, and that's sad. but Robbie's incredible talent. Made a lot of good music.
Musical legend.
But he wasn't the band without the band, you know. It was like, and the band wasn't the band without Robbie either. So.
You young whippersnappers, make sure you watch what Philip just referenced, The Last Waltz.
The Last Waltz.
One of the great Scorsese, wasn't it?
Yeah.
One of the great concert films of all time.
I just showed it 2 weeks ago in my movie class.
I meant to be over there, and I've been busy this
summer.
Yeah.
It's over. You can come next
this
summer.
This church stuff gets in the way of a lot of things, you know. It really does. A lot of good movies.
What the hell are you doing?
Fixing the mic.
We're over here doing a show, and he's over here doing maintenance. He's like, I'm going to eat a sandwich and do maintenance in the last hour. What are you guys doing? Am I getting paid for this?
I fix it.
Yeah, there you go.
In his defense,
Somebody's got to
Justin,
do it.
I know somebody has to be the
that
tech
microphone
guy.
falls down all the time. It's done that like 3 times on me.
It's irritating.
It's like from the Marconi Radio Hall of Fame.
You know, we often joke about how easy radio is. This guy's literally jagging around over here, eating sandwiches and fixing his microphone for an hour.
You have a screwdriver in here?
I'm the Robbie Robertson of this bunch, okay? Hey, Levon, get over here and do your heroin, you jackass, and I'll take care of the show.
Only drummer who can make it cry.
I don't know who's behind the Taylor Swift machine, but my God, they're smart. They're like, hey, let's take all these successful albums we've already done and then re-release them and get paid twice on them. I mean, that'd be like us taking a whole year of shows and getting the same, just getting the same amount of money we got from the first time around.
They were hard enough to listen to the first time.
I love listening to me eat a sandwich on the radio again. It is excellent, Enrique. Let me listen to that as I thumble around with my microphone. Oh, excellent. Anyway, they're re-releasing 1989.
Yeah.
She is performing for her 6th night, of course, at SoFi. It's amazing. Listen, hate her music, I don't care. Hate her, don't care. You have to tip your cap to the machine that is
It's
Taylor
like Jimmy
Swift.
Buffett. As a musician, she's a brilliant businesswoman.
That's exactly right. I mean, it's sort of like I just give her all kinds of credit. I mean, I think that she's probably the brains behind it.
Turn over the U.S. Treasury to her. We'll start showing a profit as a country.
I have a coworker who's really upset because she can't spend $500 on a ticket for next year because she's been waitlisted.
Oh my!
And they're really upset about that.
Is she doing another concert next year?
Oh, like in New Orleans, they're doing another tour, I think. I
Yeah,
don't
she
know.
announced. I think she announced a few
If
more
I were in
dates.
New Orleans, I could think of 3,000 things I'd rather do than go see Taylor
You've got to
Swift.
pony up for that, right? You've
No,
gotta-
he
Oh,
doesn't.
no.
He got ponied up too.
Yes.
Wes actually has got a greater GNP than some third world countries because of his resale of tickets from Taylor Swift.
Oh.
Actually, that's the
Oh,
one thing
dude.
she could do to be smarter
Whoa.
is to buy her own tickets and
That's
then resell them on the secondary market.
That's right. Well, she should buy Ticketmaster.
She should buy
She should,
Ticketmaster.
yeah,
She might
exactly.
not. She might know
Wes
it
can put it.
already.
Wes can buy a strong percentage of it after reselling his tickets.
Yeah.
I won't go into the numbers because it's none
But
of my
you've got to
business.
pay
But
for Pepperdine, though.
Good job, Wes.
Taylor helped pay for
Yeah,
Pepperdine.
Taylor had to pay for
yeah,
Pepperdine.
it's a drop in the Pepperdine bucket though. As good as you get on the
Yeah.
tickets.
Beautiful campus, though.
Mick Fleetwood used to have a restaurant on Maui. Mick Fleetwood no
That's
longer
right.
has a restaurant on Maui.
It didn't burn down.
It did.
Oh.
It's on Front. It was called Fleetwood's on Front Street.
Yeah.
He says this is a devastating moment for Maui, and many are suffering unimaginable
Wow.
loss. And while we are heartbroken, our main priority is the safety of our dear staff and team members. He also says he's committed to supporting the community and those affected by this disaster, in the days, month, and years to come. And I don't know what the long-term effects are going to be. I don't know how many people can or will rebuild. I also don't know when they're going to reopen Hawaii, like that. At least Maui is an island,
Yeah.
right? Is how far does it stretch beyond Lahaina? I don't know.
Okay, well, it's sort of like look, Kapalua escaped, and it's like
The
15
Gulf-
miles.
the Gulf
It's like
West and all,
15 miles
yeah.
north of, and the little working class town is just burned down.
I usually
mean,
stay in Kaanapali when I go there.
yeah. Well, we stayed in Lahaina. Is that how you say it?
Lahaina?
I- Lahaina. We stayed there once in the worst hotel I've ever stayed at. After staying at a hotel that was better than the Four Seasons, we moved over there, and it was a terrible hotel. But I remember the banyan tree and all this, and it was
Yeah.
a really,
Yeah.
but
Banyan
it's a
tree's
little
cool.
working class town. I mean, it was
Yeah, it is.
it wasn't luxurious. It wasn't like the other ends of the island, and it's just really sad.
Yeah,
I-
Lahaina's a pretty nuts and bolts.
yeah, it
town,
was.
for
Yeah,
sure.
it was. So,
I love it there.
oh, I do too.
I was planning on going. We've got a basketball trip over there, and I was planning on
Yeah.
jumping over to Maui for a couple days, but now I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe not.
Molokai.
I've never been there.
Yeah, that's where they
The
had the
former
leper camp.
lepers colony.
Yeah, that's where they had the leper colony. That's
fit right in.
coming though.
You might
That's,
get leprosy.
Oh, I've been.
I'll lay hands on you when you come
they
back.
have to
and
been
try
sent
to
away
get
many
leprosy
times.
these days.
UCA's playing in basketball.
Yes.
You get really lucky scheduling wise.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is
Didn't they play Hawaii a few years ago?
football.
Yeah.
This is basketball. The only issue is it could conflict. Hopefully, I can't go because hopefully it conflicts with a football playoff game. But we'll see how the football season goes.
Might be in Montana playing the Grizz.
Could be,
Could
which
happen.
will never be
Montana's-
confused with Hawaii.
Montana's a lot nicer than Hawaii anyway.
You're on drugs, and that's unfortunate. I don't know what you're smoking back
This
there.
little league stuff is great. They showed this guy and he said he's 4'9" and 82 pounds. I'm like, is that good? I don't have.
And
a
the other
frame
guy
of
was
reference.
100. So this other guy was 159 pounds. He's like twice.
So some of these guys
the
are
size of
grown
the guy.
men and some of them are like tiny.
We
Yeah.
just got visited by an NBA basketball player, and I love Isaiah Joe. What a great dude. However, I will tell you, because of my limited athletic ability, I'm seriously sitting here watching these little leaguers going, all right, if I jumped in a little league game right now, could I be a star?
You would dominate.
Would I
us.
be
Oh
good
yeah,
enough?
you'd
Yes, you
dominate.
would.
Yeah.
I'm
Be
not
like
con-
Babe Ruth.
not
Old man
convinced of it.
strength.
Not convinced of
Yeah,
it
you
at
could-
all.
You could hit the curveball.
What's the
Bringing that
fences? What are the
60
fences? 200?
Yeah,
200
200 feet.
Ah, you got that.
They're bringing
Yeah.
62-degree heat or 62-mile-an-hour heaters in there.
Yeah. And you wouldn't be afraid of the ball like you were as a kid. They're not going to hurt you as bad.
They'd
That-
still have to
that-
put me at first base though, because I can't throw.
First of all,
there's a kid in there that just threw a guy out at third that looks just like Wiley Wiggins from Dazed and Confused
Yeah, I saw
with
that.
the long
Yeah,
hair.
long hair.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought Sunshine from
Sunshine, that'd be a good one. Yeah,
From,
from Remember the Titans, right?
West. That struck a little too close to home.
Tatum O'Neal.
I was very afraid.
Oh, I mean, we all were afraid of getting hit.
Oh, wow. Look at this moment we're having here.
Hmm.
I will tell you, I stood pretty far off the plate, but I made sure I could just barely reach the far side of the plate. And I'm like, I can step towards the plate, but if I'm way off the plate and the ball is anywhere near inside, I know it's a ball.
Yeah, that closed stance.
Yeah.
Turn your
Mm.
back.
Hey, I had to bat against Eric Turner, who was the second coming of Dwight Gooden back then, and I think I struck out on 3 pitches, none of which I actually saw.
I only played against one major league kid. It was Casey Blake. He played for the Cleveland Indians for a while.
Could he throw it?
Yeah, he didn't. I didn't face him as a pitcher, but he was a great hitter. He was like all-state. He was one of those guys. All-state
Yeah,
quarterback.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Great basketball player. He'd made like
Play
he'd make like 8
anything. The
threes a
natural.
game.
Exactly.
Well, a name like that, he had to be.
Yeah, it is a pretty cool name.
It
huh?
is like
Cool
Jack
name.
Armstrong, All-American, isn't
Yeah.
it? Man.
I ran into Casey one time. We were downtown in high school. This is our senior year, and I ran into him at this party. It was the Two Rivers Festival, and me and my buddies were idiots. And we were drinking beers, and I said, "Hey, you want a beer?" And he's like, "If you were me, would you drink a beer?" I said, "Hell no." He said, "Well, there you go."
So he was disciplined even then.
Yeah,
Nice.
well, he couldn't afford to get in trouble. He had too much at stake.
Wow.
My professional career had already come to an end. So real quick, Phil, we only got a couple minutes. We
That's
got
all
behind,
right.
but tell me about. I want to hear about this Ben Kingsley movie. I read your write up this morning.
You know,
What a
it's-
weird movie.
It's a weird movie. It's a weird movie. It's called Jules, and it's done by Mark Turtlebaum, who is the only thing he's ever done. He was producer of Little Miss Sunshine, and it's like this 82-minute movie. It's like E.T. for old people. You know, it's like this old guy played by Ben Kingsley, who's absolutely great, and he's been horrible for 20 years. And I hate this guy because he insists on being called Sir Ben. And I mean, you had to interview him. You had to say Sir Ben to him when you were interviewing him. It was terrible. And but he comes out and he's like this befuddled old guy with a bad hairpiece, and this alien crashes in his yard, and he calls 911. And they say, "Sir, have you been drinking? You know, go back to bed, you old fool." You know, and then he gets up in the morning, and the alien's out there, and he's trying, you know, needs some water, needs to hydrate. So he brings him in, and he like takes care of the alien. And eventually, he and his friends, Jane Curtin, who's wonderful, and Jane Curtin is like, she's like 90 years old now.
Wow.
I mean, it's just like, but she's still great. I mean, it's like. And they come in and they help the alien help the alien get home. It's basically E.T.
E.T. for adults.
for really old people.
I want to check it out now.
Yeah, I do. I think you have to go to Conway to see it this week. I don't think it's any place in Little Rock.
Would
but
my
it is
kid like it?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
16. Would he
Yeah,
enjoy it?
yeah, well, he might be a little cynical. But I don't depends on how worldly he is because it's
My kid doesn't
really
know what
sweet.
cynical means.
It's really sweet. It's really sweet.
I'm
It's
cynical.
really kind of, you know.
You remember how Sir Ben treated Christopher in The Sopranos when he was
Yes.
trying to get him to
Get
play
to
in
play the
Cleaver?
mob- yeah,
The
Cleaver.
mob guy in
Cleaver.
Cleaver. He kept blowing him off. Yeah, it was pretty good. So,
But
yeah.
no, but it's yeah, I mean, Kingsley has been. I mean, he's fantastic in Sexy Beast. He's a great actor, but every time you watch him on screen, you get a feeling about how actorly he is. I don't. I mean, it's sort of
Well,
like
Gandhi,
I
it
get
went to his
sometimes-
head.
Was
yeah,
that? Am I
yeah.
drunk? Was he in a Bond movie where he played a fake villain? Like he was a poser for a villain?
No,
villainous
that was
scheme?
that was
a movie?
Iron Man 3.
Yeah, Iron Man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you. That was a
He was
horrible
Mandarin,
premise. The
yeah.
whole thing was ridiculous.
yeah.
Yeah,
If
it was
you
that
never
was a bad
saw
movie.
Sexy Beast, he and
Sexy Beast
he and
is-
Ray Winstone were
yeah.
great. in
I don't
it.
even know who that is.
Yes, you do. You've
You-
seen him. in
you've
a
seen
lot of
him. He's
stuff.
an
He was
old-
in Indiana Jones a few years ago.
Yeah,
he was in a bunch of
blonde British guy, kind of
Yeah.
portly. You know,
stuff. Big physical guy.
Is he the guy that chose poorly on the chalice?
No, he's a guy that
no.
in the Crystal Skull he double crossed Indy, went over
No.
the Russians. So anyway,
I
yeah,
can't
you've
keep track.
seen it.
He's been. He
You've
gets
seen
double
it.
crossed in every movie.
Yeah, you'd right. you got it.
Belloc.
Anyway, Kingsley was a great villain in that. Man,
Yeah.
he was intimidating.
Excellent. Okay. Anything else this weekend that we need to see?
Yeah, there's something called the Miracle Club, which is it's almost. I don't know.
Is it the story of Arkansas winning the national championship?
It's a bunch of women in Dublin in 1967 who want to go to Lourdes because they all need miracles.
Miracle cure.
Yes.
Ah, that sounds kind of fun. Sounds like 80 for Brady.
Yeah, it does sound like 80 for Brady. It's about it's like 80 for Brady without the sex. How about that?
Thank God.
Tom Brady gave those old women a miracle.
telling you. That's scariest bunch of cougars of all time. I'm telling you.
It's now time for Birthday Trivia in the Zone. Brought to you by Elia's Mexican Grill. Award-winning Mexican food made fresh daily. Take care of the misses in your life with a personalized tumbler from her boutique. Take exit 108 to Elia's in Morrilton.
All right. Well, listen, if you want to win a gift card to Elia's Mexican Grill, and I can assure you, Pigskin, would you say you do want to win one?
Delicious food.
You want to
Yes,
win
do.
one. Don't be ridiculous. Isaiah Joe would adore it. I hope he stops by there on his way back to Fort Smith. It is outstanding stuff. While we're lining up for a gift card, 661-1037, I need 4 players. I want to wish a very, very happy birthday to one of our own, Hope Hankins, celebrating a
Hope.
birthday today. So, Hope,
Happy birthday.
I hope you have, knowing Hope, she probably started celebrating her birthday on Tuesday. But I want to wish her a very happy weekend. It's always good when your birthday falls on a Friday, isn't it? My 50th is like on a Tuesday or something. weird, I think.
That bites.
Actually, I'm just making that up. I have no idea. Oh, by the way, while we're lining this up too, I have to sidebar. You'll like this, Wes, because we haven't started yet, so I can do a sports story. There was a tweet from Jack Alito. I don't know who he is. He hangs out on a deck somewhere. According to E
I saw
ESPN
that.
and Caesars, the over-under on the Iowa Northwestern game closed at 37.5. Arlen Bruce IV, a running back for Iowa, bet the under or is accused to have bet the under. They have video of him scoring a touchdown that took the game from 33 total to 39 total, therefore pushing it over. So
Oh,
he's not
no.
only dumb, he is a really bad gambler.
Yeah.
But he cares more about his team, obviously, than he does his own wager. So
He cares more about his stats.
maybe so. He's obviously not smart, and whether or not he's selfish, I guess we can debate.
I saw that video, and he could have easily maybe just stepped out of bounds.
He could have.
too.
Does
He made a-
Northwestern win a single game this year?
I'd have to look at their schedule. I'm sure they've got a non-con game they'll win, but conference-wise, probably not.
I don't know, man.
Well, they weren't very good last year, so
They won one game last year.
this woman is the most decorated. I think you can correct me. I think she's the most decorated black actress in American history.
Viola Davis.
Viola Davis.
Okay.
Is that a undisputed thing?
I wouldn't dispute it.
She's an
wouldn't dispute it.
EGOT. She is the
Yeah.
first black woman to have 4 Academy Award nominations.
Yeah.
I mean,
She may
Patty
be.
McDaniel.
okay. Anyway, good call, Christian. How old's Viola Davis, Wes?
56.
No.
57.
How old is Riddick Bowe, Wes?
56.
That's right. 57, no.
58.
It's not your turn.
58.
Bingo bango. Pigskin, every week you jump the gun. Every week we do the same order. Every week. But you were right. You're double right. This guy is a former professional wrestler, brother.
Roddy
Hulk-
McDu-
Hulk
Roddy
Hogan.
Piper.
What was over there?
Jesse Ventura.
I heard
He
of
said
Hulk,
Hulk Hogan,
Hogan, yes.
How old's Hulk Hogan today? Brother.
72.
69.
No.
73.
You wish.
What'd you say, Pick?
73.
70.
Bingo bango, Wes. Well done. This guy is the most wealthy. I assume he's the most successful currently.
Elon Musk.
He's the most listened to.
Warren Buffett.
He's the most well
Joe Rogan.
compensated.
Don Imus.
Joe Rogan.
I was trying to find a way to say it. He's the most well compensated podcaster in the world. How old is Joe Rogan today, Christian?
Joe Rogan is 54.
49.
51.
57.
56. Philip Martin's on the board.
Yeah.
This guy is a professional basketball player
Wilt Chamberlain.
from Australia.
Josh
Patty
Giddy.
Mills.
Andy
Patty
Campbell.
Mills.
Patty Mills, Wes, correct. How old is Patty Mills, Pigskin?
Patty Mills is 43.
No.
Christian talked about him the other day. That's how I knew it.
Patrick Mills. Oh,
40.
37.
what did Pigskin say?
40 something.
You said 43? He's like 35.
He is exactly 35,
Yeah.
Christian.
I knew it.
And last but not
Wow.
least, this man defended a shot well, but was
Joe
scored
Craig
upon
Elo.
and has never recovered. He went cuckoo for Cocoa
Sean
Puffs.
Bradley.
He is Craig Elo.
Oh.
How old's Craig Elo today, Wes? Were you up first last time? No, you're up first now.
Okay.
Craig
Craig Elo. 57.
No. Philip?
66.
Nope.
61.
Nope.
59.
62. Christian, good job. Last but not least, this guy is a part of an acting family.
Alexander
Baldwin.
Charlie
Skarsgård.
Sheen.
Stellan Skarsgård.
He's
Emilio
Thor.
Estevez.
Oh, Chris Hemsworth.
He's 40. It doesn't matter. Christian rolled the
job,
victory.
Christian.
You know,
Hey.
Shelley, enjoy.
Elo could not have played that play any better.
Yes.
He was all over him,
Should have
man.
fouled him.
He double clutched. I mean, what are you supposed to do?
You're supposed
I
to
mean,
hack him.
That's just a freakish shot.
Northwestern plays the Howard Bison this
Okay,
year.
they'll beat Howard.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Also UTEP.
UTEP will beat him.
Who else?
Duke.
Duke will beat them.
The Big Ten needs to kick Northwestern out. I would kick Northwestern and Rutgers out and get Cal and Stanford.
What I want is I want regulation. I want, like every year to have this, like B
Oh, absolutely.
conference, like a minor
you get dropped
league.
from the
And you get-
conference.
yeah.
You go down to the
take
MAC.
the bottom of the
Yes.
the bottom 4 from every conference, and they go into this, regulated conference.
I don't
And
like
if
that
your boys
idea.
ever win the league and win the national championship, they could move up to a league.
That's
Yeah,
right.
but Iowa State's likely getting relegated down, and Arkansas is going to be in danger occasionally as
And
well.
Arkansas would be in danger occasionally.
Yeah.
The problem is,
Vanderbilt.
we're not talking about. You're just talking about football, maybe. But my thing is, there
Yeah.
are other programs that are good at other. Like Iowa State's better at basketball. They are football typically. Anyway, Arkansas is pretty good at everything. I'm not sure what Northwestern's good at. Field hockey.
They won, I think, in soccer, maybe.
They're a good lacrosse
Women's
team.
They gotta be
soccer,
good lacrosse.
Yeah,
They
they're
gotta
good
be
at
good
that.
lacrosse
Yeah, they're good
and-
at lacrosse.
Hockey?
No, they stink at. I don't think they have a men's hockey team.
do they
don't have a
not?
team. No, I don't
Oh,
think
really?
so.
That surprises me.
No, they don't.
Bunch of journalists coming out of there.
Geeks.
Actors,
Yeah.
journalists.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you about Oakland. Yeah, I got to do that.
Me too.
Yeah, well, good. Listen, let's all talk about it. We all love Oakland. When are we going back? That's the question. Maybe we can pop down there and make a few wagers on Oklahoma City and then go over to Oklahoma City and watch Isaiah Joe get it done. But I'm not going to ask him for any advice because I don't want to get him in trouble. Anyway, if you're looking for some fun, what a nice dude. I would never want to do anything that would hurt him.
Great kid.
Blues Traveler November 17th. I keep telling everybody. Nitty Gritty Durban September 10th. I mean, just a really good collection of music coming up.
Mr. Bojangles. They did that. Yeah.
Oakland.com coming up. If you want to get tickets, you can get your rooms booked at Oakland.com. You can go down and have a good time in the 24/7 smoke-free casino. Don't forget about the spa. You can book your spa treatment as well at Oakland. So get down there and have a little fun, folks, with our friends at Hot Springs. There's so many ways to do it. And the Mainline Sports Bar, even though the racing side is there's no racing over there, that side is open with the Mainline Sports Bar. You got over 90 TVs, so lots of things to watch and enjoy. And you get the Top Golf swing suites and the axe throwing and all those kinds of things if you're into it. But good food and beverage options as well, all across the board. And of course, fine dining at the Oak Room and the Bugler. It's 12:37. We're back in a sec.
This kid's small.
All right, just about 5-6 minutes here, and then we'll come back and do the rewind and get out of here. This segment brought to you in part by our friends at Gwatney Chevrolet. Apparently, James is very, very busy today. We're going to go out and meet our employee of the month on Monday. Up to $7,500 off on 23 Silverados. You can go by and see them for details. They do have a great assortment. That was something James did tell us this week when we got him on for a few minutes. So if you are looking for a good selection, Gwatney is the place to be, both pre-owned and new. And don't let the construction bother you, folks. Don't be afraid of that. Get off at that Gregory Street exit, pop in, and get what you need. If you want to avoid it, though, you can get off at Main Street and then circle back around, right on Main, left on Bailey, right to their front door. Also, great financing options on Silverados and Equinox, both under 2%, and they can help you out with a little respite on payments. So go by and see them for all the details, or go to their website. It's GwatneyChevrolet.com. All right, so some Asher Record Live fan feedback, Wes, and I've got to believe we've got some Southern Structural Solutions text line offerings. It's been so busy, it's been hard to get over to it. We were talking about autographs earlier, and I said I'm not really an autograph guy. And Horse Whisperer says, didn't Justin mention about getting a book from D. Wayne Lucas autographed? Yes, but it's his book, as Wes made the point. Like, getting the author to sign your book is about the only autograph I want. So, Philip, when you write that Pulitzer Prize winning book, I want an autograph.
Well, I just go to the bookstore and sign all the books anyway.
I got to bring in my copy of The Shortstop Son. You can sign that.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I'll bring it
I'll
in
do
next
that.
week.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Don't personalize it, though, because that hurts the resale.
Connor says on Phil, we know he likes to bet, but no way did he bet $1 billion. I'm sure it's in millions, but no way $1 billion. Dude, he was betting $400,000 a game.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. Over 30 years, yeah.
$400,000 every NFL game. $400,000 on every college game he was betting. Now, he wasn't betting every game, but that's insane.
You know, you think about it, $1 billion, and he lost $100 million. That's 10%.
Yeah.
What's the juice?
10%. Pretty good.
It shows he's about a 50-50 gambler.
Yeah, he's doing all right.
Yeah.
Champ to you guys for the Isaiah Joe interview, says Jake. You're welcome.
It was really good interview.
And Piggy Small says, Acre, you're a chump for not realizing Isaiah Joe didn't play for Musselman. Nice work. It's been a while, and we went through COVID. I forgot. I honestly was not the timing of it.
He did.
No, he didn't.
He didn't?
He was with Mike Anderson.
Thank you, Wes. I'm in elite company.
He was on the
I don't remember.
Mike Anderson's last team. He entered the NBA draft, and he was like, I'm going to come back. But it was the weird COVID year where the draft was in November.
I remember us talking to him from Bell and Sword because he was making the decision. He was a
on
late decider.
That team that was good, tried to make a run in the SEC tournament, and then COVID hit in Musselman's first year.
You're right. He was on Musselman's
Yeah.
first team.
There you go.
And Isaiah got hurt, and
Oh,
that's
that's right,
why
'cause he was drilling a bunch of threes.
record.
Yeah, it was Isaiah Joe and Mason Jones were on that team. He didn't come back for the second. He didn't come back for his junior year.
And then he did say he ran the mile under Musselman.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
right,
think
he ran the
understood
mile.
Said he ran the mile.
conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're vindicated.
I couldn't remember. Shoot, I don't know. It doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah, he was
I guess it
on
kinda
Musselman's
does.
first team.
Yeah, because that team didn't
was.
make the tournament, but they felt like if A, Isaiah Joe would have been healthy the entire SEC
That's
season,
right.
and B, if there wouldn't have been COVID, they were going to make a run in the SEC tournament and get into the NCAA as an at-large.
In my defense, I drink a lot. So I'd like for you to give me a break. I'm doing the best I can.
So you get a champ for remembering now.
Thank you,
Yeah,
buddy.
you did good. I mean, and COVID makes everything seem like, it seems like Musselman's been there 10 years now. because of
And when you
COVID.
have COVID
Yeah.
or had COVID, it messes with your brain.
Yeah.
And I had
Long COVID. You have long COVID.
thanks to somebody in here.
We should have asked Isaiah what cologne he wears
You're
because he
welcome.
smelled really good.
You know what? If you would have
Paco
gotten
Rabanne.
if you would have gotten COVID from someone else, it might have been a worse version. You may have gotten a really soft version from me. So
He
you're
was
welcome.
just doing you a favor of exposing you.
You were
to
gonna
it.
get it anyway. Sorry, Wes. God, how long do I have to apologize for this?
You know, I was the first person at the station, Philip, with COVID, and Basil was calling me COVID boy for 6 months. That punk.
How we didn't get COVID from you that day, I have no
I
idea.
know. We were right in here.
I
don't
never
know.
got it. I mean,
You still haven't gotten it?
No.
Maybe
no.
you
Not
did.
that I
You didn't
know
know
of.
it.
Yeah.
You might not have known
Come
it.
back next week.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of other nicknames for Basil, so COVID Boy's not so bad.
Nicholson's right-hand man in The Departed was Ray Winstone.
Ray
That's
Winstone,
right.
The Departed. Thank you. That's a good get.
Who
You've
is
seen
it?
it?
Yeah, I
In
have.
The Departed, he was the guy. What'd you like to drink? Cranberry juice.
Oh, I love that guy.
That's
Yeah, that
him.
He's a
guy.
roughneck.
That's- yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's like, what are you on your period?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That was-
hilarious.
That was Winstone.
I love that. That was a great scene. I actually watched that the other night. He beats the guy up at the bar for saying that to him, and then he says it to him, and he's like, he gives him that look. I love
Say
it.
nothing,
So
he just
good.
Gives you that look.
Yeah, you know, he got that look.
I used to work with Isaiah Joe's uncle making windmill blades. He comes from a great family, and he is a great young man.
Yes,
That's from
he is.
Carl. Thank
That's
you,
good.
Carl.
LM Wind Fiber.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your efforts, sir.
I don't know about you guys, but it makes me nervous when I hear 70 to 80% install. It might just be HOG PTSD though.
It does make me think of Chad Morris,
Yeah.
but he said it was like 20% or something, didn't he?
I'm glad that my HOG PTSD is hung over for people. That's good. I appreciate that. That was a phrase I came up with back in the day, and a lot of people have it. It's understandable. You guys have had the rug ripped out from underneath you a lot of times. John and Joe are on the road today. They're hanging out at that. Remember, they're at that lumberjack thing, I think, down in Hot Springs that we were at the year before.
They're not at Twin Peaks.
We were going to go this year,
No, the other
except
one.
for you thought you were going to be on vacation, and I thought I'd be on my way to California.
Yeah, you were supposed to be at Pepperdine. I was supposed to be at a resort in Cancun.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are.
In the studio, and they're on a remote.
But we wouldn't have got to meet Isaiah Joe.
That's true. I'd say
Look at you.
I'm going to call it a
I'm
win.
rubbing off on you. Positivity.
Right.
Let's see. This person's bashing West. Let's read this.
Oh, no.
Dallas Cowboys moved to the Big 12.
I
saw that.
That's good.
That's
Come on,
funny.
son. That's funny. Oh, shoot. That's great.
They had 12 wins, 13 wins last year?
Something like that.
Yeah. They've had double-digit wins 2 of the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
They just haven't won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they've won as many NFC East titles lately as they've won Big 12 titles.
Okay.
Though.
They won the
NFC East 2 years ago,
The
right?
Cowboys will win more games this year than the Jets will.
I don't think that's bold.
No.
Yeah.
You don't think
that's
it's
very
bold?
I think it's very possible.
Well, I took a look at the strength of schedule this
Yeah.
morning in the AFC East. Strength of schedule, all their teams in the AFC East, because the AFC East is good. They're also playing the NFC East, and they're
Oh.
also playing the AFC West. So they have a tremendous, difficult schedule.
That's right. They have.
So the debate, because I thought all 3 of those teams, everybody but the Patriots would make the playoffs.
That's right.
Now I'm not so sure because the schedule's so difficult.
They'll beat up on each other.
From the Southern Structural Solutions text line, who on this earth doesn't like Hook by Blues Traveler? Justin Moore doesn't like it. That's who.
That is kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't get that. If you're not an autograph person, Acreate says, not so fast, my friend. If you're not an autograph guy, then why did you spend about a week and a half on the air talking about getting Mark Weiss to autograph his new Decade That Rocked book for you? Again, you jackasses.
The book.
It's a book signed by the author. That is the exception, not the rule. The rule is I don't care about any of you people getting an autograph. Michael Jordan's my one person. Everybody else, I don't care. But if it's an author signing his own book and I have possession of said book, I want the autograph.
What if you had a basketball handy and LeBron was just standing there with a Sharpie in his hand?
Nah, let's get a snapshot.
I've never asked anybody for it. Never.
Is there anybody on earth that you would ask?
Well, there's Billy Bob Thornton told a really good story about Johnny Cash. He said that Johnny Cash wrote this little, they got to know each other back in the day, and even his band opened for him and stuff. And he said that John wrote this like little poem for him, and at the end he signed it 3 times: Johnny Cash, Johnny Cash, Johnny Cash. And he said, well, "Thanks, John, but why'd you sell it? Why'd you sign it 3 times?" And he says, "Well, son, times get hard. You rip that thing in 3 places and you'll be okay."
Yes. That's good.
Smart.
Great story. Headline Entertainment's coming to Oaklawn. Go to oaklawn.com right now to get your tickets. You got the 4 Tops on August 25th and Nitty Gritty Dirt Band September 10th. Buddy Guy, November 3rd, and Blues Traveler, November 17th, oaklawn.com. You can also make your hotel reservation while you're there. Don't forget about the great restaurants. The Bugler is awesome. Make your reservations, and don't forget about the casino, the sports book, and the brand new restaurant there at Oaklawn, Mainline Sports Bar and Grill. Make it your weekend destination. Oaklawn.com, Arkansas's only racing casino resort.
All right, we're looking back on the week that was here in the zone as we wrap things up. Then we'll head out and check in with the gentleman down in Hot Springs at 12:54. This week, we heard from a lot of Arkansas coaches and players, and Kenny Guyton really likes to talk about things, including Kenny Guyton.
All the time, he's just savvy, man. He's savvy. He knows how to get open, knows how to create space, knows how to create separation, knows zone coverages, where the hole's going to be. And he's just sneaky fast, honestly. He's a long strider guy, so at times he knows how to be deceptive to where he sets up his speed. And to be honest with you, Coach Guyton probably didn't know if he was going to run 22. So seeing that, it was like awesome. Like, okay, this dude can run. So he's done some special things. Looking forward to the year that he'll have. So very, very, very excited about that guy.
Coach Guyton didn't know that. Devo Davis was on this week, too, doing some good things in his community. We were talking about guys giving back. Great to see Isaiah Joe today. Great to hear that Devo is back in Jacksonville giving to some youngsters who go to his former high school.
It was amazing. And I was excited coming in. You know, I was waiting for the event all week, just wanted to see the smiles in their faces and to see what type of things they pick out, actually. Because, I mean, like you guys asked me, what was the first thing I would pick? So, I mean, I wanted to see what they was going to pick. And I think they spread it out pretty well. A few people got shoes, a few people got clothes. Some people even got some little small essentials for themselves. So I think overall, the whole event went really well.
Dan Enos back in Fayetteville. Clint Sterner joined us this week, and he'll be on twice a week thanks to Motorsports Authority during the season, talking about Dan Enos' impact on KJ Jefferson.
He's been in a perfect system that fit him perfectly with Kendall Briles to bring him to the surface, to show everybody what he's capable of. And now you look at it and you go, okay, what does he need to do in order to give himself a chance to play at the next level? And that's exactly what Dan Enos brings to the table. Dan Enos is one of the best developers of quarterbacks I've ever been around in my life, and I've been around a bunch of them. And so you talk about just developing as a passer of the football and all things between. He's going to do that. Then you talk about a progression pass game, you know, where you're every time you drop back, you're keying certain players and you're getting through progressions. And if KJ Jefferson can do those things, I mean, you're talking about a guy that can skyrocket up the draft board.
And last but not least, we talked a lot about gambling related golf this week with Phil Mickelson. John Rahm says he's been gambling too much with his bladder, and he needs the PGA to step it up.
I can tell you right now, my priorities are a lot lower than what a lot of people would think. If I go by request, I know this is going to sound very stupid, but as simple as having a freaking porta potty on every hole. I know it sounds crazy, but I can't choose when I have to go to the bathroom, right? You know, I've told the tour this many times, as simple as that. Just simple little things better for the tour, right?
No doubt. Listen, we're grown men. We need to pee when we need to pee. Okay, you can't just go over behind a tree. You're on the PGA Tour, for God's sakes, and there's people everywhere. Come on, let's have a little respect, shall we? Anyway, let's check it with John and Joe. They are down in Hot Springs, hanging out, and this is an event that we've gotten a chance to go to the last few years, the Southwest Regional Timber Expo. Timber! What's up, fellas?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Not much. Just getting ready for the weekend. I feel like I should cue the Kesha here.
It's going down.
Oh, see,
I'm yelling
that's
timber.
terrible. Like, why we got to start off that way?
That's a catchy tune.
Kesha and Pitbull.
So is Syphilis. John, what are you guys doing today besides that?
Well, we are going to tell you all about the Southwest Forest Products Expo, and this is an awesome place. And folks, you need to come down here. It's the Hot Springs Convention Center. We're going to tell you all about it, but big farming equipment and big equipment in general, especially dealing with timber. So it's going to be an awesome event, so we'll tell you a lot more about that. Steve Sullivan's going to join us today. We'll talk about all the sports heading into the weekend, give you a Razorback Fall Camp update, too. So it's going to be electric here on Out of Bounds on an Easy Friday show.
It's electric. I figured gas-powered with timber, but can't wait to hear it. Yeah, tell Sully I send my love. He's running out of coworkers. It's been tough.
We will pass the message along.
We definitely will.
And he just lost a great one over there. Tony Ranchino on to other pastures, wishing him the best as well. And again, Hope, happy birthday to our girl Hope here at the Buzz. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Philip, Pigskin, Isaiah, Joe. Great to see Bill today. A lot of fun. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for Out of Bounds coming up next. Push the buttons.